All right, hello and welcome everybody. We're in a noisy ass garage right now because we got brand new uh, washer and dryers, and we know it can be heard because we just tested the recording. There's no way to fix this. It's laundry day, and we're not moving this to another day. Mostly because we've already scheduled this day long ago in advance. So
And prior, before those came into our lives.
actually, I'm very happy that it's working. So I'd rather have the news and evidence of like it was working
Last time,
the second last time it was completely working. It was the second. Like I could refer to that.
yeah.
It's like
You know what? You have evidence, Sean.
yes, evidence. Evidence is a perfect word for it.
Now Sarah can't be like, you didn't do the laundry.
You know what? Yeah. You know what? Anytime it's your turn to do laundry between the two of you,
It can be during the podcast.
yeah. You know what? Evidence. I do not mind that. I really don't mind that. That works. Okay, yeah, I'm fine with that. I need to sit back and relax a little more because I'm like up in the mic and I'm like straining my. I feel like I'm like forcing myself a lot.
I never thought I would have a Disney binge.
Oh yeah, with anything Disney because they're like a weird evil corporation now.
Yeah, and so, but they have most of our childhood shows and stuff. So
They have a
it's
lot
like,
of shows that when we were children watched.
Yeah, I know.
Childhood
But it's like-
shows. I feel like it's being overused a lot. I'm just trying to use a thesaurus. Different words. I don't know if I feel like a thesaurus is more of like a word or phrase. I don't know. Some people would argue maybe just a word to replace or also use in the place of something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah. Anyways, we were talking. We were idiots and starting to talk because we were hanging out, and I was setting up the couch for me to sit
And
on.
we just
And
naturally.
we just naturally want to talk. But then, like, I was like, wait a minute, I'm not recording it. I just realized I'm setting up the couch to record. Record. But really, we're not recording yet.
Yeah. So I started talking about how I like how streaming services have libraries of shows, and I was just I was comparing them.
We were
Like the
no. We were
seasons.
talking about season.
Yeah, season. I
Being-
was.
How did it start? We started with.
Well, I want to say I evolved my thought on this.
Okay, fine.
Or
Use
the
your evolved thought.
So okay, the conversation did start about like talking about seasons and chapters or books and stuff like that.
We started with talking about WandaVision, and then you said you don't want to watch it till the whole season's out, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to watch it till the whole season out because watching a complete product with an arc, like a season, each season has an arc for people. Like episodic shows, sure, they have arcs every episode. The arc for this episode. Like I get that, so I can watch any episode in any order of that show, and I wouldn't mind. Like Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Johnny Test.
Johnny Test is a good example. I don't know. I feel like because they reference their old stuff eventually in the later seasons. It's like
Oh, yeah, the
impossible
beginning-
To watch.
the
Yeah, the
very-
beginning. I feel like
Johnny-
the first 4 seasons.
Yeah, they didn't have like they didn't have like a set storyline. It
Yeah,
was
they
just
didn't
like
Have a timeline.
let's get the army involved in this
Yeah,
because
exactly
because they're scientists, right? Why
And-
not?
Yeah, exactly. So, like that's a good example. But that's my
Dexter's
reasoning.
Lab is
Dexter's
another.
Lab is a good one where it's not really a set time. Like each episode is its own thing.
Ed, and Eddie.
Oh hell yeah.
Uh,
Okay, but anyways, I was
Okay.
I was saying that, and we didn't get to examples like that in our first conversation. But
yeah, but
he
my
was-
thought. Okay, but my thought
you said
in my
some,
head.
Yeah.
My the thought was forming to be, Streaming services are like libraries because the seasons are like books and the episodes are like chapters.
Yes, I wanted to say we got in a little bit of a, because we didn't communicate well at first with that thought. You were like a chapter, and I was like, you mean the whole season? And then I was trying to clear it up, and then he was like, what?
Yeah,
no, seasons are books. And I was like, oh yeah, episodes are chapters. Okay, got it.
And then that's where
and
you're
then
like,
we were going into, what shows say chapters? Stranger Things, the Mandalorian, and probably a few other shows, like where each episode is a chapter and it says chapter this, and it's like,
and then that's where you're like, wait, we're not recording yet.
Yeah,
and so that's
because
where
I was down on the ground and I was like, man, it's gonna be so good when we start talking and getting it recorded, and recording hit my brain, and I was like, wait a minute, Jake, shut up. We're not recording yet. Write it down.
Okay, and so that's where I got to form my complete thought because I was able to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, you were able to shut the fuck up and write it down and think about it.
Yeah.
While I set up my mic, and figure out why the fuck my mic wasn't showing up.
Yeah.
Turns out we were not on the podcast piece. That's why. I was an idiot. I was also like, why isn't the picture showing? And then I read what scene we were on, and I was like, oh, whoops. Wrong thing. But that's okay. Yeah. There's a lot that I wrote down for weird concepts because I don't want to get any hopes up, and also saying things aloud normally ruins the plan. It seems to never get done when it's said aloud, because saying is saying and doing is doing. But in the meantime, it was on a pause, not by my own volition, but because of all the shit I had to move for the washer and dryers and shit. I paused my working on the concept stuff to send to my storyboarders for the Viola the Wizard little project I got going on. And I have some concepts I wrote down for later stuff that I am probably going to... Honestly, I'm going to have to... I feel like... okay, I have the driving goal, as an active protagonist, right? For Viola to be an active protagonist. But I have... not many in-between stories, so the episodic or the standalone ideas, or even just concepts that are gonna be in it, I want to be in it, and a few of them were just popping into my head, and I wrote down old ones too, such as on the road they find this attraction that is a moving, living wooden horse that is just a cutout, but it moves on its own, and it's a guy with he's on a carriage or whatever, and he's on top of it whipping the horse, and he's like, move faster, or whatever, he's whipping the shit out of it, and then he's on top, and they're like, oh wow, you got a horse and everything, you think if we pay you, could you give us a ride? And he was like, sure, just climb on in, pay me when we get there. And then they go in, and it's just a bunch of fucking fallen dishes, and it's a giant room full of falling dishes and weird shit, just a hoarder's house, but falling over. But every time they turn around, when anything leaves their vision, they turn back around and it's clean and already stacked up again. And then it's moving around they're fucking storming down the road, making hard lefts and sharp rights and K turns and shit like that. But then they step outside.
You make K turns.
In a carriage? I don't know.
In carrots. And the diamonds.
In carriages? I don't know. How would that happen? The horse's butt would have to push the thing.
Yeah.
They'd have to constantly be going forward.
But yeah, I'm imagining
but they step out and then they find themselves have gone nowhere, and that the carriage is not moving really, the horse is only moving, but it's thrashing around, and it's acting like it's running down the road. But then they look around and they haven't gone anywhere. And the guy is like, all right, that'll be blah, blah, blah. And they're like, screw you. And then they left. But they also stole something from him because, I mean, the objects are real inside. It's just
The carriage wasn't moving.
the carriage wasn't moving. Exactly. So they just leave, and then he's like, well,
just
whatever.
Wait, I just want to clarify. You said the horse was cardboard?
Wooden.
Wooden.
I don't know where you got cardboard. That would be amazing. Cardboard horse.
Well, like, I guess I just imagine that myself.
That's
Because,
okay.
like, I heard wooden and stuff like that, and then, like, I don't know why I heard. Where did I hear cardboard?
Exactly.
Fuck.
That's what I'm wondering, dude.
Yeah, that's. Parallel fucking worlds are coming.
Oh, so good. Gosh darn Mandela effect that happened 3 seconds ago.
Well, speaking of Mandela effects, the.
Okay, keep going.
Well,
I'll
that
let
reminds-
you segue with that.
Well, that got me thinking of the ending of the time travel shit with Kim Possible. And
oh,
then
yeah.
Ron says, "I hate meat pies or meat discs," and then then Kim is like, "Where does that?" Like she just is like, "What?" And he's like, "I don't know where that came from," because the man, okay. So they go through time and stuff like that, and then once they destroy the thing that Shigo had in order to take over the future and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
They disrupt the time continuum.
Yeah, keep going.
I just find it ridiculous because I'm trying to summarize 3 episodes in like a few sentences.
Fair enough. Yeah, there's a lot that happens in Kim Possible.
Yeah, so it's like shit. I'm just trying to get the main points down. It's like okay, Shigo has like a time monkey thing. And so they destroy it. They destroy it in the future, and then that sets the time right. And then they go to
Their present day.
Well, before Ron moves, like because Shigo made that happen.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Because he moved to Norway.
Norway. Why Norway?
Because her future self was like, wait, since they're always together, they always succeed, so I need the dweeb away. So future self, when she steals the time monkey from like Draken and all of them, and from Monkey Fist, because they like decided to form a team like Sinister
and they were
Six.
I know,
Like,
right?
So it was like the greatest 3-parter episode ever.
Didn't they go back in time to like hit her kindergarten class to make her a shy person because she like got bullied and then he like they were bullying her?
Well, they were bullying her, and then Ron was like, "Hey, leave her alone." And then
leave her alone.
and then
this is a bad time for like adolescent minds. Like he talks all smart and shit.
it's like preschool or play like recess is a time for blah blah.
Oh
blah.
yeah.
And then then they start bullying him, and then
And he's
Kim,
like, I
well, then-
swear to you, like something.
"Well, I have an imaginary friend,
And he's really tall.
Rufus." And then Kim is like, "Hey, stop like bullying
And
him."
then she does some kick-ass
Yeah.
backflips and shit.
And then it like transitions to her adult self or older self. She's not an adult yet,
She's not an adult yet.
but her older self, I want to say.
Her older self, her present-day self.
So like her younger self is doing like a spin in the air,
How
and
many
then
times are we gonna say these things?
I know. Okay.
Okay,
Anyways.
go ahead. Sorry.
So they destroy the time monkey thing. They go before they're.
I feel like we're describing Kingdom Hearts.
Damn it. I know.
Anyone knows any lore about Kingdom Hearts, they should know how this fucking feels. To explain it to someone is like he goes here. No, but not that character. Like it's like wait. So this character?
It's like
No.
Sora
They're not
had
even in the scene now.
Roxas's
It's
heart.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
and Roxas's soul was lost here, but Roxas's heart was found, and shit like that. That's how it is. But
Whoever, what's her name, wish washed, made it Castle Oblivion, blah 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 bullshit.
But speaking of Kim Possible and that time travel shit, it just that had the same vibe as the weird Mageddon of Gravity Falls, but the Gravity Falls stuff was like planned, at like way ahead. Like it had that vision.
Yeah, the time travel stuff feels like
It was just another episode.
It was just being made as another episode, yeah. Like one of the many concepts that they were just wanting to snap out there, you know?
Yeah.
It wasn't thought out as thoroughly as their actual movie,
Yeah.
which was fucking bomb.
amazing.
Yeah, it was awesome. I remember most of that shit to this day. Does it have an alternative intro? I feel like No. I'm thinking of the season after that intro, because they use some of the imagery from the movie
Oh yeah.
when it's like the robot, like the big one.
Oh dude, that's cool.
Me, beat me, if you wanna reach me. That's how it goes, right? Like, and it's like the robot fucking thrashing down. Like, it's just
That's
fucking awesome imagery, dude. Dude, it's like they got a 12-year-old who does AMVs with, like, you know, editing imagery from their favorite shows to
Put it
music.
together.
Yeah, to put it together, because that's how awesome it was. Not cringy, but awesome.
Sean, did I tell you that Selena Gomez sang the Shake It Up theme song?
But she's not even in that.
I know, right?
You know what? That's what makes it feel so off, I guess, because normally it's like someone from the show.
Yeah, but it's Selena, and I was like, who sings this?
Then you looked it up, and it's Selena Gomez.
I heard it from...
There was a stupid rumor thing I thought I saw where she had a kid or something, but I guess I was wrong.
I wonder.
I
But
don't even know.
I don't care if she
I
has a
saw
kid.
it in the store. You know those stupid magazines? It's like,
You know what?
Selena with a kid, and I was like,
That's her
oh, you know
business.
what? I was about, when I saw that, I told myself, I was like, oh, you know what? Good for her. I didn't even care whose it was or anything. It's like, if it's Justin's, who fucking cares? You know what? She has a kid. That's her kid, not his. Who cares? You know, like, 'cause
Yeah.
that's who it should be focused on. She's the one going through the most trouble for it, and I'm like, okay, good for her. But then now when I look it up, it's just a fucking fake ass shit. And I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. Way to trick my heart, world.
Even if she did, good for her.
Ugh, it was so dumb. You know, it's like one of those things you briefly look at in line with the magazines at the store. It's so dumb. You know what I miss when it comes to those magazines? There used to be at least one type of magazine on the rack, right? Like for each type of person, right? A sports one, a glamour one, you know, a fashion
Home.
one, and then a gaming one. I remember they had like one brand of gaming one, and I don't even know the name of it. It was not the Informer. Jacob's smoke is blowing in my face. Sorry, guys. I blew in the mic on accident, I think. But honestly, I kind of miss that shit, because when I look at it, it's just Life magazine, like right
I know.
there.
I wish.
I'm a little upset by like how much they have bought up the space right there. I hate it.
I don't like. Damn,
Game
we
Inf-
need a script because we go into different tangents.
No,
Okay.
but I was gonna say Game Informer was like, okay. I wanted to say real quick because this is the structure of it.
Yeah.
Right. We were talking about chapters, like,
Yeah,
and
and-
how streams and books are the same
I know.
right
I know.
now, and then or libraries, I should say.
Well, I was gonna go.
And then we went into Kim Possible because that was one of the things.
Well,
because
you
we were talking
speaking
about shows.
of Game Informer made me
Yeah.
think of the online articles like comic book reader or whatever. Like,
Well, I was gonna go into Game Informer. Reminded me, or like, because we went into the rumor thing, and then it reminded me of the shelves. Okay, how about this? I'll lead it back to the topic of like chapters and books and streaming services and media being released in chapters or like viewed in that way. Would you look into a game if there were chapters released at different points for the game?
Yeah, there were like, cause there are the Telltale games. There's also the Life is Strange. They're released in like episode,
Yeah.
or
Uh,
like chapter like.
Yeah,
So
I think it's a very interesting thing to do. I like it because honestly, by the end of it, you're gonna have a like sometimes you'll have a completely different experience than to what your friends had. If you have like a choice based game like Telltale games,
yeah,
but if you have chapter games that are just like TV shows where it has a scripted thing and you just go down the line, would would you play a game like that?
like
Where
Resident Evil 4 or something.
what?
Like Resident Evil 4. Like,
Yeah,
that's
like
pretty. That's
like
good.
like Resident Evil 4, but each chapter was released like say 6 months after each other.
If they're like really well done and put together, like yeah, I would definitely play them together.
All right. I just want to know your opinion on it. I would totally do that because but honestly, dude, in Resident Evil 4 there are some short ass chapters,
There are,
mostly because of their difficulty.
and then there are long ass chapters because their difficulty.
Yeah.
Like
Or they're more difficult because of their length, really. I would say a little bit.
yeah.
Yeah. It gets evened out because you know what, honestly, they kind of blend into like where it is of how long they feel really. When you go through it like your 80th time like we have, that's when you start to notice going, oh man, that chapter was short. You know, like
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I thought that would last longer.
It's like, man, I struggled in the past.
Well, anyways, yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that's the way I noticed with my playthrough. With the last, I'm on my third round of like new game. Because I sold most of my weapons. I kept the handgun.
How
And-
much is the old Infinite Rocket Launcher?
It's $1 million.
1
pesos.
million?
Yeah.
I gotta see how much I gotta sell my shit with.
I kept all the treasures. I kept all the spinels, my bad.
throughout the game
Yeah.
in order
And
to sell it all at once.
yeah.
Oh, dude, how much is that in total?
Oh boy. The only thing that I sold continuously throughout the game was the TMP bullets because
Yeah, because that shit is not our style. I'm not saying it's useless. For some people, here's the thing: it's for like crowd. Like you want to damage them. Like honestly, you want to damage them and then get a kill streak, and then you get like, you know, you get a kill streak. Like you kill them all in like one wave of like the shotgun after like a little brrrr with the TMP.
I totally
It's for crowd control. I get it.
I totally understand that.
It's also for, I'd say, if you're not big into like your patiently aiming, if you just want to scatter, like I said, crowd control.
Yeah.
But
For me, I'm more like handgun. This is personal. Also, like my knife, like I want to like save, like whenever I knock down the enemy.
yeah, when
Shotgun is like usually whenever the enemy is like, or like enemies
that is
are
a crowd
getting close.
That is a I'd say
Personal,
close encounter crowd control.
yeah,
Because distant crowd control, honestly, is the TMP. Like, because you can be far away and it will do like the same, like no matter what distance you're at. Like,
Yeah.
So you'll like from far away, and then you'll get up and like you'll run up with the shotgun and then bam, and then they're dead. You know.
on my when I went through my second playthrough, I upgraded all the weapons that
Because
I
you had
had.
the ultimate rocket launcher at that point, right?
No, first playthrough, you don't usually get enough to get the infinite rocket launcher. I noticed, because
I think they must purposely do that.
Like you sold off, like at first you didn't know, like, oh shoot, there's like bonus stuff, you know, like imagine your first playthrough of this game, like it's like you.
Oh my god, yeah.
So I definitely see that being kind of purposeful like.
Now we just talked about chapters and games being released into chapters.
Yes.
But honestly, I am in love with how Resident Evil 4 is a good example
Of
of
a
game,
full game.
a fully developed game with its warts and all, like even bugs that they knew existed, existing, or like I'd say quirks because they kept them in from like even maybe they fixed some, I don't know, like from the PS2 to the PS4.
I can
just
definitely see like some bugs like
the PS3 had bugs. I remember that shit.
Yeah.
I remember textures wouldn't. Remember when we were playing it on the PS3 and textures wouldn't load, like they had floating eyeballs or whatever, and like fucking flashing graphics. I hated the fucking flashing graphics on the castle because that shit was weird as fuck. Because I was thinking, wait a minute, this is one big texture. Why is it like? We did not play that all the way. We played 2 whole rounds on the PS3, and then that was it.
Yeah.
We
and then
fucking ended that shit quick. We went back to the PS2. I remember we were out in the shed playing it on the PS2 more often than the PS fucking 3.
yeah, and then the PS4 version.
Oh,
came
fuck
out.
yeah. We bought that immediately.
Yeah.
We were like, PS4, fuck yeah. And you know what? I'm very spoiled by the control scheme.
Yeah, same here.
The control scheme is way more dynamic of how you hold the controller. When you go back to the PS2, it's like, I'm lost. You know, like, there is an alternate control scheme for, I guess it's done. There is an alternate control scheme for it, but honestly, does not help that much. I wish you could map it. You know,
Yeah,
like
I wish you
keyboard
could.
controls. I wish you could map it for your own personal controls.
Yeah, that would have been.
But dude, I also love. We're speaking of Resident Evil 4
Yeah,
and full games. I really hope.
I really hope Village is a
Yeah,
full game.
I was gonna say, dude, Village. It's honestly looking exactly like. Here's the thing. It's the setting of. It's the same. Same aesthetic, I will say, as the Resident Evil 4 game. But with the graphics of Resident Evil 7 and with the setting. I guess the aesthetic is Resident Evil 4. The graphics are Resident Evil 7, and then the theme is Resident Evil the first game, because it's a castle. You're basically in a castle. You're in like a medieval setting. Like you were in a giant mansion in the first game.
Man, they're taking all of what they learned.
Look, dude, yeah, they are not fucking kidding around in this.
You know what I love about
I am
games?
so happy with this.
I love how Capcom is taking all of their elements that they have learned from the Resident Evil franchise,
Yeah.
and they're throwing it all into.
Oh yeah.
Well, I can't say. I guess it's just my prediction. It looks like they're putting their all into Resident Evil 8.
That's what everyone said about Resident Evil 7, which when I looked at it, the story was not that good. It was very convoluted.
Yeah, the storyline is very weak. I didn't.
The storyline barely linked up with a reason for what would have been good is because of the, city and creatures like dogs and stuff were already affected. Why couldn't sea creatures? And so like murky waters got affected. And like it didn't have to stay into Raccoon City, right? So it could have escaped from Raccoon City and just become like evolve into its own thing, and then it affected the people because it got into drinking water or something. Like I would have fucking accepted that a little more honestly, because that to me is a little more realistic than just, it has to be linked up with someone literally coming from a lab or a ship that is like. Also, that ship looked like it was abandoned for decades rather than just a few, like 3 years.
Yeah.
You know? Like
Is there some sort of spell that evil does that makes things look old, quote unquote?
Yeah, I kind of don't like that. Where it just you know what would be more scary is a sleek, fine looking room. Something that looks recent. That would be like it's like someone's here today.
Yeah.
But it's like if it's truly abandoned, then that's even scarier because you think someone could be there. you think that there's going to be help around the corner, or like either an ally or an enemy, and it's like, oh god, like, because it feels like someone could be there.
Oh, you know what was really good? In Twilight Zone first episode, they're simulating what it would be like for man to be isolated, so that way they can send like a one-man mission to the moon.
Yeah, and what happens?
So
My voice is like, oof.
so the simulation is like he's walking around town and no one is there. He just barely hears something, like someone did something, and then he looks and like nothing. He walks into a restaurant and like there's stuff on the grills but nobody. And then the simulation, it's just like at the end of the simulation, he broke down and he was pushing the button to be like, let the fuck out, because they figured, yeah, we are social creatures and we would go mad if we were all alone.
Yeah, even if you like, I would kind of expect more of a Wilson thing to happen first.
I know, where you make a companion.
Yeah, like, because especially for how fake it is, like, it would just be your drive.
I also like an I Am Legend.
Ooh, him talking to mannequins. It
Yeah.
also brought up a plot point, because the reason why he gets like knocked in the head and is hanging upside down is because he saw the mannequin in the middle of the street and he was like, "No way, no way! If you're alive right now. You better tell me." Like, and he fucking shoots the thing and it knocks down, and then he walks up to it, and then he fucking gets the fucking weird trap, which I don't understand. I honestly don't know how those creatures fucking did that shit.
There is more in the book.
There is a lot more. I don't know what people's deal is with the original ending where Will Smith like just releases the girlfriend or whatever of the creature and like doesn't blow up with them, like, because I remember seeing only the other ending where he blows himself up. And then when people talked about the other ending, I'm like, other ending where he just like lets them, like, he honestly, I felt like it was a good conclusion to his fight, like his story, you know what I mean, like Will Smith's character
Because
blowing up because he feels like he gave up, like, or he knows that vial's like enough to like,
but it's one vial is never enough.
okay, look, dude. Fine.
A person produces blood all the time.
They're not going to go from that and inject it into somebody. They're going to look at it and replicate it. They're going to break it down. They're going to replicate the effect. They're going to look at the contents, like, figure that shit out. They're not just going to fucking inject that into someone and be like, now it'll produce more.
That would be kind of ridiculous.
That would be ridiculous. What I mean is, like, that vial's enough for them to look at. There's no way that, like, it's not. Because, like, that thing was as long as, like, his hand from his fingertip to his palm. It's
but
like,
also,
that's a lot of blood.
But also, him blowing up didn't make any sense.
Okay, look, I felt like, poetically, it was a good end to his story because he had, like, what else did he have fighting his life? He literally recently... Also, he would have been feeling, honestly, even more isolated with having to kill his dog or whatever, like, in his own hands. Like, so, you know, like, these people invading his home, like, I feel like he would have just been on the edge. You know?
I don't know.
Okay, fine. Here's the thing. It would have been okay as well if the ending didn't just have him giving up the girlfriend and, like, all that, right? The guy. But the girlfriend of, like, whatever, of, like, the big boss. Or even just, it, like, I don't even know if it's a girlfriend. I keep saying girlfriend because it was a woman and it was a guy going after
Maybe it could have
her.
been her brother,
Yeah, whatever. Like the
uncle,
one
niece. I don't know.
the one for the cure with the cure in her blood. It would have been nice to maybe have he does give her up, but then later, um, he sees her sitting in some sunlight or something.
You know what? That would have been
Like
way.
still bald, still pale, long fingernails, very petite, but like,
But she's not freaking out.
but she's
over
not
the sun.
freaking out. It's not burning her. She just sits there, leaning in the sun, and he is like in his apartment getting ready to lock down, and he's like he sees her on the hill or something, and she looks at him, still bald, and like waves or something, and he like closes it with an ominous like, okay, things are done,
And then,
and then roll credits.
yeah,
That would have been a nice ending, right? That would have been a good one.
like she's cured. She goes off, and then he's closing down his fucking shit.
Not only that, but maybe it's a new variation of the species, like because there's the human and then like whatever they are, like, and then whatever she could be, like she could be a new variant of like it, where she still cries blood and sees better in the dark, like is a nighttime kind of creature, but they don't burn in the sunlight now, like
Maybe.
it could be that. Here's my question about that though, burning in the sunlight. How the fuck would that work?
What do you mean? It's radiation. So
So would any form of beaming light, like, okay, there has to be some form of light waves that they're able to use, because you can't just be blindly in the dark. When it's dark enough, like, our eyes would be useless. Eventually, you'd have to use echolocation or something, right?
yeah.
So like, what variant of radiation like is appropriate?
Like, how much radiation is this type of light?
I don't know.
It's not like it's not UV radiation.
Okay, fine. If you're saying the UV is what's like causing their skin to like literally semi catch on fire and shit,
Well, that's what I kind of got at, like, cause
there must be something of their skin that is not causing a protective layer. The
lack of melanin.
melanin.
Yeah,
We don't know. It's okay.
starts with an M.
Yeah,
No.
that shit in our skin. It must be a
Metachlorians.
midichlorians. Goddamn midichlorians invade our lives again. That is one thing I fucking hate from the Star Wars world is midichlorians. What the fuck are midichlorians? Like tiny sentient creatures or something?
They're like water bears.
Yeah, everywhere. There's a million of them in like 1 cubic inch or like cubic centimeter or something. Like there's a bajillion of them. That's crazy. That's crazy to think about. Okay, we were talking about full games and everything, and alternate endings and stuff,
And
which
chapters
is how
and stuff
chapters.
like that.
Okay, how about this? There's a lot of recently, in our past, I would say past 5 years, there have been these books that are like the fighting fantasy books are growing in popularity, and they're basically like little adventure books where there's like one path of success and there's a million like other little paths or branching paths, and you can eventually get back on course. I guess there are like varying paths, but there's only like one set or like specific, like ending to it because it's a book. It has to be like set in ink. Like, I don't want to say stone necessarily, but
Set in
imagine
ink?
one of those types of book series where it's stitched together.
Are you talking about make your own adventure book?
Like choose your own adventure books, yeah. Like I wanted to say imagine those books, but it's only like every choice you make whatever. Like, let's say you have a path in this game, like a video game, and then like your path, you're able to say, okay, print it up, and it's like, oh, okay, people can read my exact footsteps in my adventure. Like, wouldn't that be interesting as like kind of, because that's how like I feel like adventure logs would kind of go when it comes to people on real adventures, where they'd kind of explain what they're doing, right? I ate breakfast today. Like, which is a good thing. Got 8 stamina back. It's like, I don't know.
It's like, okay then.
That'd be very, like, my thought is all over the place with this, like, because it's slowly growing the idea. Because you're also throwing conflicts at me, or rebuttals. How would they be interpreted? I don't know how to brain right now.
Well, I am just trying to interpret.
Yeah, I'm like all over. Like, I guess my brain is like,
Because
say this idea.
Because when you were like there
are these books, out there
growing in popularity, the fighting fantasy, it's like
fighting fantasy.
Hunger Games, Harry Potter, those are like.
No, those are fantasy books. Fighting fantasy is a genre of choose your own adventure books. I think they are also a brand now, or they have been a brand, and they've been going on apparently.
I've never heard of fighting fantasy.
It's a UK thing.
Ah, okay. Well, I don't watch. I watch more American stuff, so.
I don't know about that, man. Got some pretty Canadian YouTubers in your fucking logs.
Which Canadian? Which ones are Canadians?
Domics.
Okay, that's one. Matthew is the second.
I don't know your whole dude. Your whole subscriber list feels like YouTube. You're not defending yourself. I feel like that's more of a correct statement than anything else.
I don't know.
Yeah, look, dude, you have a lot of subscriptions. Okay,
I do.
You have a lot going on.
I have taken.
If you ever tell me I ran out of things to watch on YouTube, I'm gonna be like, you fucking liar. You have a million things you could be watching.
Well, I've cleaned house with a lot of people too, like the Super Colin Brothers, the Odd Ones Out. I got rid of.
Yeah, that shit. Oh, I have to say subscribe to at least the Super Carlin Brothers because, not because I enjoy anything that they're necessarily making. It's because
you just want to keep
I
up.
want to know what they're up to stay in the loop of the topic. Like, obviously, I could just look at the latest, what's it called? Fucking Disney movie or Pixar movie or Harry Potter fucking
just search
edition.
that up and they'll be there.
I'll be like, what's the latest Harry Potter bullshit going on?
And then Super Colin Brothers. Did the Sorting Hat have feelings? They'll like have titles like that. I bet you.
No, it'd be like the Sorting Hat was wrong or something like that. That's a clickbaity title.
Yeah.
And then it's like, how is the Sorting Hat wrong? It's the one that sorts.
Also, also the student is the one who chooses too.
Yeah, they get a complete vote. So you're saying the student is wrong? And it's like, or what's a good theory? There's a good theory out there of Harry Potter.
Or you won't believe Syndrome's plans. Something like that. Or Syndrome in Incredibles 2.
No. It would be one worded like in the thumbnail, it'd be one word, but the title of the video would be a little longer or something. Like redemption is the word in the thumbnail.
Syndrome redeemed in Incredibles 2.
Oh yeah. We better stop giving them ideas.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not exactly an idea anymore because Incredibles 2 is already out, and it was a subpar movie. It was not.
It didn't feel.
It did not feel. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
It didn't feel like the first one.
I'll tell you this. We discussed this before off recording.
Yeah.
And the thing that I think we clicked on it didn't feel like the time period anymore.
No, it didn't.
Because there were too many fancy gadgets. Here's the thing. It felt like a modern house but with the decor of the 60s and 70s.
Which can be done.
Here's the thing. The house color. The inside, like, a lot of houses back in the 70s had decor of like what I felt like
Bright yellow.
very yellow or very
floral.
very
Floral.
I was gonna say that's a bit cliche. But I was gonna say it had a bit
Stripes?
of brown and yellow because they are contrasting colors. They stick out on top of each other. So is purple. Purple and yellow and brown and yellow stick out on each other. So what I was gonna say is, because my reference here in my mind, I know it's not completely accurate, because the whole joke is like, it's called That 70s Show, right? Like the whole joke is like, they're riffing on the 70s and all the things that happened there, the mindset, everything. So not everything is accurate, but the things that are in it are supposed to be things that have either happened or were possible.
Fads.
Right? Fads, yeah. Like things that like did happen, but they're making fun of it. So, and I feel like the house aesthetic and color scheme is exactly that.
Because
there was hardly any white. Like, I'll tell you this: the only thing that felt like it was really white in the house was either like the ceiling or the wall to the stairs, the one that was attached to the stairs in the house.
Like, I want to
From my
say
memory.
the first one really set the world. It
felt like the 60s, right?
yeah, they had a whole news article. They had a fucking interview with the superheroes, and then they went into the scandal, and then they went into the story of Mr. Incredible, and then like the world was building, But then
Mr. Incredible had a computer in front of him, right?
yeah, but it was like,
It was a big boxy one, right?
but but it's believable in their world because they had superheroes.
You're right. Which is, I was gonna say, like, computers obviously
Like
existed.
I totally believe that they would have the big boxy ones because let's see, it's the 1950s-esque era.
Or it's coming out of that into the 60s, or we're not really gonna look into the time period.
But I just want to say
that is
computers were mostly industrial for companies,
corporate things such
they
as
weren't for
data logging and all that stuff.
They weren't for personal use yet.
Yeah.
So I totally believe that it wouldn't have internet just yet. It would just have like everybody's like it would just have like
the building system. I feel like
yes,
like the buildings network, which is why also a lot of I feel like themed movies that like talked about getting into the computer system. You have to get into the building's mainframe, and it's like
which totally is like it makes.
But nowadays you can just do that from home. You're like, I'm a lazy boss, so I made the network connect to my PC.
It's like, how did you do that? I bought a VPN.
I just say I'm over here now. that was real dumb. oh fuck.
But but Incredibles 2
felt way too modern.
It felt way too advanced.
Okay, when were remotes made for televisions? Because I still like, as much as they were in that fancy home, I didn't want them having a remote for the floor or any of that. Like, sure, it was a nice little gag.
But it would have been better if it was on the wall. A panel.
Yeah. Yes, you're right. A panel. Also, the phone thing with the, like, wireless. It looked like a wireless phone. Cordless phone. That definitely not, because there were still corded phones all the way in the 80s. So, like, okay, I get it if there's like communication things like used for your costumes to communicate with each other, like to your company or whatever, like or walkie-talkie like obviously that's radio though, right? Like that's certain radio frequencies, and that's why you hit a channel and then like, oh yeah, that shit, right?
Yeah.
Um,
But
oh my god, I would have fucking.
the
It would have been
the
better.
body cams felt way too advanced.
Yeah. You know what? If they added another, I talked about this before too, with you. If they added a new character who had a power of like intangibility or something, and they were able to go around with a camera, just running all over the place, getting good angles, and
Would
stuff.
it have been better if the sister had intent? Like if the villain
She was the one chasing her down and like creating the perfect like shots to like capture her and stuff.
Yeah, and it would be like, look at this like footage of Mrs. Incredible or something. I don't know. Like I'm just thinking of
You know what would have been a good thing? Is if people were like, some of this feels a little too coordinated. How did like, and it's like that's where it could have been like, yes, it was coordinated because she knew where she needed to go to get the perfect angle to capture Elastigirl, knowing Elastigirl's route and causing the route with like controlling the guy and stuff. It would have been a good lead up to the reveal because it would have been a better build up than just the dialogue that she had with Mrs. Incredible or whatever.
Yeah.
That felt fucking. Also, I get that that's the one thing I kind of feel is a little
cliched. The superhero gets captured.
Yeah, and then
the villain
is monologuing, and it's like,
I just want
made fun of that.
I
You
just
got
want
me
villain
monologuing. Like it's like.
Yeah, he was like, "Holy shit, Mr. Incredible is fucking good."
Yeah, he's like, me, someone who's aware of the cliche. I started doing it. Impressive. Whoops, I threw you over the fucking shit. I gave you your escape.
It would have been so much better if Pixar would have taken just the element of Syndrome and just went with it. Just had a villain that didn't explain, didn't sit and tell why.
They find out what the plan is, but they don't find out why the plan is. Like,
yeah,
that would have been interesting.
Like how she did. Like, these goggles were right on the pizza dude, and he had no idea that he was being. These are mini screens.
What if the screens are on the right on her face? That's another thing that felt like I was like, how did no one? It's a party. How did no one fucking see them? It would have been great. Actually, you know what would have been great? If the brother caught his sister doing that.
And then he stood up to her.
And then he stood up to her then.
And then she hypnotized him.
Or
she tried convincing him, come to my side.
Or she was like...
Or made fun of him for his obsession of superheroes like she did.
Or if she... yeah, you know what? That would have felt in character a little bit because she's like caught and then she's like, oh god, I didn't plan for that part. Like... And
then he's like, stop right there. Like, I'm going to get the superheroes in here right now.
Supers, I need you. And then a bunch of them come in. And then it's like, guys. She uses her, like, a bit of her wits, like, trying to talk herself out. I was just seeing... Elastigirl and I were just seeing if it was true. I know I looked a little harsh. You said you're smarter than you look. That means you knew something. And then they're like, can I crush now or something? The guy, like, he's there.
Yeah.
Like, and then Vortex grabs the goggles off of Elastigirl. Elastigirl is dazed. And then fucking, the rest of them go and, like,
Sean.
she starts to run. And then she panics going out the door. And then Vortex, chases after her. But then Elastigirl...
Wait, didn't they... Okay, wait. didn't the brother and sister recruit those guys? Or did they find them? How did they get in contact with them?
They came out to them, to the brother and sister. The brother and sister didn't like find them.
Okay,
They found the company, the brother and sister.
I only had that question because I was gonna be
Yeah,
like,
you know what? I was gonna ask that too. Like, how did the supers find them, or how did they
how did
find the supers?
how did Vortex and them get the goggles on them as well without like being tricked or whatnot? You know what I mean? Like, oh, hey guys, I made you some really cool costumes. Like, put these on.
Yeah, I think maybe that's how she did it. Like, she didn't activate them right away.
Yeah,
She like had them wear them, and it was like, try them out.
just like how we are, just like how we conspired. Is that how you say it? Our conspiracy theory about the government about cell phones and cameras and shit.
Oh, yeah,
we
yeah.
have to be willingly.
I don't feel like I came up with that. I feel like I read it somewhere.
It like,
But it's clever. It's
Yeah.
clever. It's a good one. It's a good one. And it makes sense. It makes
I
sense
guess
if
we
that's how the
conversed
government wanted
of
to
that
spy.
conspiracy theory.
Yeah. When we talked about it.
Yeah.
We did a little recreation of like, how do you get them to willingly take them into their homes? And it's
You
like,
put fancy gadgets on it. You like slap the fucking internet on
you
it.
give it some flashlights, a few buttons for them to press, and they'll take it anywhere. Give them a little reward here and there for pressing this button here and that button there, and
Oh, also
and they'll keep it in their pocket like it's their life, like their life depends on it.
reward them for giving reviews about.
Yeah, their opinions, their thoughts, saying things out loud.
Record it.
Yeah, not only record it, but use it to your advantage, and then like all that shit. But anyways, back to the Incredibles 2 could have been really good. Like, do you see how many ideas were already coming up? Apparently, the art book had quite a few ideas that people liked. I didn't look into it, but we have one at the Copperfields nearby.
I'm just frustrated with like Disney because they declared we are making money, not movies. Okay,
Yeah,
we're not making magic. We're making money. Okay,
we're making a profit. If we make something good in the meanwhile, then that's good. And it's like, oh my fucking god, where's your spirit in this? Why are you doing this? Oh, money? But money's only in like money's a like liquid, man.
yeah.
You know? Like
I'm practicing my digital art right now and stuff, and I'm not getting a profit from that. It's something that I enjoy doing and I want to do more, you know?
yeah, there it is. Like it being a passion. But I get that like I can understand where it's like there's a lot of jobs on the line and this is a company that like needs to stay here and like wants to be able to stay. If we want to take risks, we need to know that we won't completely plummet from it, you know? And it's like Disney took so many risks in the past that didn't pay off because of like either going into 2D animation or putting money into ideas that didn't grab people's attentions. Now here's the thing. It's called cult recognition, right?
Okay. I remember what.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, you want to know what was? I remember what. Okay, Treasure Planet was set up to fail. I remember hearing about that
Yeah.
because
Go ahead.
it was competing against Harry Potter, Santa Claus,
Oh yeah, Santa Claus movies.
and I believe was that all in 2001?
What, Shrek? You're telling me Shrek?
Hold on.
Went against Shrek?
Hold on, let me check. I want to double check my facts, okay? Please.
I thought it was a 90s movie, but if it's an early 2000 movie, then cool.
That's what cause Treasure.
Incredibles 2. Oh, okay. Another thing is, Jake,
Oh, it's 2002. So
Harry Potter.
So it was competing against Harry Potter and its own Santa Claus.
Yeah, that fucking Yeah, that's set up to fail. Another thing is, okay, here's the thing. There are some companies with movies in their back pocket that they just aren't releasing anywhere. You know what I mean? Like films that are filmed and
Santa
completed.
Claus 2. It was facing up against Santa Claus 2, the sequel.
Yeah,
It was
and that one's not a bad one, is it?
no.
That's the one with like the toy robot. That's the one that gets played every year on ABC Family.
Yeah.
They still praise that, but not Treasure Planet. How are they expected to make their money back of making that if they're not going to shove it in our faces? They
Treasure-
also didn't market it at all.
No, they didn't.
When we were younger,
Also, they give the whole plot away.
in the trailer,
Yeah.
they did. You watch that, you feel like you watched a little summary of it.
Yeah. It's like
They showed the best bits, gave away the best lines, and also the plot points, everything. I hate that. Like, the whole point in the theater, like, do you remember back? I remember back when we watched it. I remember, like, because I remember we saw a trailer, one that like we fast forward through to get to Spider-Man. I remember because it was on the Spider-Man VHS.
yeah, and didn't we get like a spoon out of a cereal box?
Yes, I fucking loved that thing.
And then we watched the film.
The film, I remember the plot point. I love how I didn't know this plot point from the trailer, but watching it, and it's structured this way where you're not supposed to know that he's missing a piece. He's missing it the whole time, right? The robot,
Yeah.
like, but he's missing a piece, right? And you're not supposed to notice or think that that's something he's missing. It's just part of his character design. But when it's revealed, like in the movie, it feels like a big reveal. Like, wait a minute, like, and then he puts it in, and then the robot like starts to remember. He's like, I got my memories back. Oh God, like, and then he remembers like it's a fucking trap. You know, like, oh my God, and then yeah, that shit happens. You know, it's
Yeah.
like, but that in the movie it feels like a huge reveal, and like you can rewatch that scene and it's still like intense as shit because now actually with the expectation of it going in, watching a second time, you're like just waiting for them. You're like, get to it, get to it, get to it. But in the trailer, if you watch it from the trailer, you're just like, oh, this part's gonna happen now. Like, obviously, like, because you watched it from the trailer. Because after watching the movie and growing up, and then later on seeing reviewers and talking about the trailers, how it gave away shit, and then also seeing the trailer myself and seeing how that part was given away, I'm just like, wait a minute, they show it as if it's sooner in the film. It's not. You're in the fucking treasure planet.
They also reveal to him like, oh, this has been his best buddy.
Oh, yeah. That's weird.
And it's like,
The pirate that betrays him or whatever.
no, well, they.
I was gonna say, I'm just bringing up another plot.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah. The pirate that betrays him, they show the part where he betrays him or something. I'm like, what the fuck? What in the fuck? You gave away that! You gave it away! Oh my God. I kind of like in the movie, the pirate kind of fathers him.
yeah.
I like that. At least that part wasn't fully given away. That's more of an emotional aspect to the film. But honestly, oh, it's so annoying that they gave away everything, man.
I know.
Fucking sucks. What's another movie that has a trailer that gives away everything in the plot? Like all the story beats. You know
I don't
what?
know. I don't watch.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I feel like that trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that gives away everything. Because it shows the bee flying scene, it shows the scorpion shows up, it shows the them riding on the ant like with the funny line or whatever, and that like I think he's kind of cute.
Jeez.
You know?
I'm so glad I don't watch
I'm
trailers.
so glad when we were younger we just skipped trailers or used them as time to make food. You know,
Yes.
it was like, okay, put in the VHS from the very beginning where all the trailers play, and you just use that time to
I
make food, and I love that.
okay. You know what's better? Fan made trailers.
Yes. Because they know
I-
how to fucking hype it up without giving anything away.
Yeah, like I watched a fake movie trailer for Captain Planet.
That shit was good. I remember that. I
And
remember
in
that
this,
shit.
it's so amazing looking that
The
I
woman
want it.
throws whatever, and then he's like, and then he pans over to him. He's like, yeah, pick that up. Or whatever, right? Like,
Yeah.
they do. Was it a woman?
I
It was
don't.
someone threw some trash on the floor, and he was like, excuse me. Yeah, pick that shit up. Or, don't use these doggy bags. Use these.
I
That'd be
like.
great.
I also like this other one where it's the 6 Harry Potter trailer reimagined as a rom-com
Yes. Oh, yeah. I know what channel you're
or a
talking about.
horror film.
Yeah. It does.
or-
It takes 6 genres, but it takes one film and puts them into like 6 genres of
Yeah, and then they
Right.
like frame the
movie as if it's going to be that.
where it's like a trailer like for that genre.
Yeah, exactly. I love that shit.
I love that too.
I have no idea where that channel has gone. I thought I was subscribed to that channel because I was like, hell yeah, show me more of that, and then I have no idea where it went.
We should just
YouTube also glitches apparently, and sometimes I'm subscribed to people you've subscribed to, or even subscribed to you, or recommends things to you as if you're subscribed to them when you're not.
yeah, that's weird.
I know,
Why-
right?
Why does it glitch like
You know
that?
what's sad? I have subscribed to the Game Grumps like 3 or 4 times, and this last time where I have seen I am not subscribed, I'm like, fuck it, I'm not subscribing again. I'm not doing this. It's as if fate is telling me don't do it. And I'm like, fine, I won't subscribe. Doesn't mean I won't watch them. But it's
You know
just
what?
like, holy shit, can you not make me resubscribe or
guess
whatever?
that I would-
Yogscast is the same. I thought I was still subscribed to the main channel, and I haven't been for a while, and I don't know when that happened, but I haven't resubscribed since. So, whatever.
You know what? I'm kind of glad that I've been writing down the songs I've been listening to
Oh yeah.
because it's like
How else are you gonna find them? Like, you think you could go to their channel or your subscription box, and it's like,
yeah, it was really weird. I couldn't find Sailor Your Love by searching her name. Like I typed it in correctly and all that. I even put like her channel name is Sailor Your Love Music. Like Sailor like regular than you are and then love like
and you spelt that all correctly, right?
yes. No like she has no spaces
And you
or
filtered
anything.
it to the channels, right?
Yes.
And you couldn't find her for shit.
Yeah. And I was like, what the fuck?
I know YouTube has been doing this.
And then so I was like, you know what, fuck it. So I go to one of the links in one of the fucking ciphers she's in, and that works. And so I'm just like, okay, cool. And I subscribe.
Yeah, YouTube just wants to hide her or something. Like, what the fuck?
I know, and it's like, why are you hiding this gem from me?
It's so fucking annoying.
There are really okay.
There are lots of. I feel like it's like.
I saw okay, r slash did
They must be reshuffling, honestly.
I know.
With the YouTube servers,
probably
like moving things where they're like what engine or like server thing they're sitting in, and then shit gets like fucking lost along the way.
well, I don't like that. Anyways,
I know, right?
I've always had this opinion, and it's not a popular opinion, but I don't think every YouTuber should be paid. Like,
Yeah, no. Like, if you're gonna do it for fun, do it for fun. Because if you want to build up a skill or show your journey in something, then do it. You know,
Yeah.
like this is supposed to be like us capturing our thoughts. Like, and I don't really mind. Like, if
Like,
we
it's
get
not-
a fan base out of it, then there you go. But
Yeah.
if we make a profit from it, then I'll be surprised because I'll be like, what the fuck?
yeah, like we're not looking for profit.
Yeah, I'm not looking for profit for any of this. Like, it's just for fun.
Yeah, and that's
it's
why
also to especially archive our experiences and thoughts and shit, because we have gone way too long in our lives talking about cool shit, and then we forget half of what we said, or we start arguing about who said what.
I
It's
know,
like,
and so it's like
now there's less arguing in it, and we even from then we haven't reviewed much of what we have recorded. I feel like there's more confidence in what we said, because it's like, if like we start arguing about this, one of us could just pull up the, okay, let's go to the recording. It's like fucking, like there's more of a balanced feeling in our conversations later on about the same thing. But profit is not a mindset in this. Like, a fan base, maybe, like growing an audience, because like mostly my passion, whether it's like theater, fucking television, or whatever, I want to entertain. Like, literally my first answer to people would ask was, oh, what do you want to be when you grow up? I said, a star, baby. I said a star. And that really says something about me. And Jacob, what did you say? A good dad or something?
Yeah, I wanted to be a good dad.
Yeah, and I feel like that is what you're striving for.
And you know what? I think the core of that is that I want to help others strive to be the best that they can be. Like,
That sounds like a teacher.
I know. Well, I guess I want it to be more personal than like.
Oh,
me.
you make it like an apprenticeship,
I guess.
but then you got to master something.
I know, and that's
So
where.
what do you like?
And that's where like my idea of a business comes into, you know, and it's like, fuck, what do I want to do?
Yeah, there's still like so many options. I mean, with mine, it's also the same thing. I say a star, but what do I want to be a star in? And it's like, ooh, there's so many things. But nowadays, being a star is like obtainable, a very real obtainable thing. Back when I was a fucking kid, like when we were kids, that was not an obtainable goal.
No,
Me
it wasn't.
at like 4 or 5 years old being asked this shit, and I say a star. YouTube was barely its own website at that point. Not even called YouTube. It was like a premise of a dating site of cat videos. So like there was nothing that drove me to say that. It was just me.
There's no Vine. There's no Musical.ly.
There's
There's no.
Yeah, there's nothing making me think that beyond like,
TV.
man, I love seeing other people smile when I do something, you know? And it's like, and I like seeing how other people are entertained, whether it's something I'm doing real wacky or real funny or real cool. And it's like, hell yeah, I want to entertain. I guess that's my answer now, is I want to entertain, because being a star is vague, a little too vague, but entertaining, because I could be a star for anything. I could be a star for doing one thing in my whole life, and then, but it doesn't have to be that thing isn't entertaining, you know, like,
Yeah.
but I want to entertain. I think that's more of like what our goal is here, right? Oh, fuck yeah. Entertain. I feel like we're getting a little existential, Jake.
Yeah.
It's because we were talking about YouTube and subscriptions, and then our personal things.
Yeah.
Man, got a little deep. Yeah, let's back it up. I feel like we were getting a little too... Okay, let's change the subject. You're just a distant voice right now. You're like a ghost with a sink.
I know, I'll be right there.
Okay, man, okay. The very beginning of this was about chapters.
Yes.
Chapters and things being released in chapters.
Let's skip the chapter of our lives.
The chapter of our lives?
Yes.
Jeez, man, that sounds a little...
Well, let's skip the chapter about us talking about our lives in this.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
That's what I was
So
meaning
moving
to say.
on into... Or I want to bring it back to when games are released in full, because I still am thinking about The Village, and
Yeah.
The Village looks amazing. It's
I know.
okay. Do you like first-person games or third-person games, or which one would you like better?
I don't know. It really depends on the genre, and stuff like that. Like, it took me a minute to get used to first person and Minecraft. for a second. But then like it got easier, and then Resident Evil 7 came out, and boy, that was where my training paid off. Just a little bit. Because like, like monsters were jumping out and shit like that, and I don't know, like I like both. I like third person or first person. Like it really depends on who's developing it, I guess.
Well, I feel like it depends on the genre, because even simple games, like first-person shooters, right? They,
Yeah, Call of Duty. I forgot that they are a first-person shooter.
yes, they have inherently, because of the first-person aspect, your field of view is more limited than people realize. And so no matter what, there's a sense of what I feel is horror to the genre, like a scary element, whether they know it or not, or really acknowledge it or not. There's a bit of a horror aspect to it, right?
I guess.
Like a little bit. I feel like horror games shouldn't be exclusively
First person,
but it makes it feel a lot scarier that way, honestly. But if there's a on rails kind of game, like a very heavily story driven horror game, I think like a good example is Little Nightmares, where that world, you're a dollhouse perspective, right?
Oh my.
And that's a third person, right?
Yeah.
Third person dollhouse.
Just
camera.
imagine first person.
Oh my god, it'd be fucking terrifying.
Like
It would sell the horror aspect a lot more, but the gameplay would be more limited, or a little too open ended. You know what I mean? Because first person games also leave open the thought that, like, just like the real world, you can, like, there's so many things you can interact with. Like in this room, there's nothing I can't interact with, right, in the real world. But in first person games, especially if it's on rails like Little Nightmares, it would be it'd be very limiting feeling, and be like, why can't I just punch my microphone? I want to punch it, like in real life I'd be able to. Why can't I do that? Like, it's like it feels limiting, unnecessarily limiting. But that's also with like the environment, I guess. Another thing
a lot of games feel, because a lot of games are on rails.
Yeah.
So
I was gonna there's Resident Evil 4 is such a perfect blend of, like, it's third person all the time, even when you zoom in to shoot something, but you don't feel like it's third person then.
It doesn't, because it's so fixed right behind him. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, it's
perfectly in its place.
Yeah.
There's never a time when it gets, like, it's really showing the front of him.
Not unless you go into, like, a menu, or you're watching one of those cutscenes.
Yeah. The front of Leon is not the show. It's the
it's the back.
It's the back, yeah. It's the back end.
They could have at least given Ashley an ass.
Yeah, I know. They gave her
awesome
tits. Knockers tits.
But nothing in the back.
I don't know. The suit of armor gives her good ass. No, I'm kidding.
That gives her. I really want.
We need to unlock that, but we need 5 stars on all the things, I think.
I know, and do you know how close I have always been?
Dude, we're so close on my PS4. We're so close. well, I'm never getting rid of this PS4. As soon as we do that, unlock that shit, I'm like, never get rid of this thing. I'm literally gonna label it the never forget.
Never forget.
Never forget. I'm gonna write the date. I'm gonna write it down and forever hold it with like, this is like when first anniversary comes up, we're gonna celebrate it hard by playing the game with it.
Okay, speaking of games, do you know what games really need reboots or remakes? The Scooby-Doo games.
Yes, the 1,000 door thing. That shit was fun. I remember playing it at Jonathan's and we got frustrated with this stupid. We kept falling. You know what? I never really got as frustrated at games when I was younger. And I think it's because my time didn't feel as wasted. You know what I mean? Like nowadays, I'm an adult. I'm like, it's only 24 hours in a day, and I gotta get this done. It becomes
So
another.
it feels more frustrating.
It feels
when
more frustrating because
when
it's
you
like,
fail at a game and you're like, I put so many hours into this and I fail.
yeah, exactly.
It's like,
yes, exactly, exactly. I don't know. Games are a medium that have so many open kind of things to it. Now, here's the thing. What do you like? How do you feel about? How do you feel about game franchises? So, like, there are sequel to games that aren't necessary, such as
Need for Speed or anything like that.
yeah, or racing games or something like that. You know, it's like.
Yeah,
You need a sequel to this? Why not just upgrade it or something?
yeah,
you
that's
know?
what
It's
I've
like,
always thought. Like, storyline based games, I feel like if they set
just
up,
like a movie, they kind of like if they set up for a sequel, then they deserve it.
yeah, but if they leave it like that, then I don't think anybody should be mad that it ends on a cliffhanger. Sometimes companies
Want to leave it open ended? They want to milk off it.
or
When they give a definitive ending and then a sequel happens, it's like, oh, you know,
or if they start up the sequel right, like it's like, hey, I know you just finished that mission, and it's like, you bet your ass I just did. What do
mean
you
like No
want
More
me to do
Heroes?
right now? What?
you mean like No More Heroes?
Yeah, like that was like set up perfectly. Like
That was set up perfectly. I fucking
like
love that.
Travis thought he won everything, but then they're like, hey,
There's a new tournament going on.
and he's like, you gotta be kidding me.
You gotta fucking be kidding me, dude.
And then now No More Heroes 3 is coming out. Which I want to know how it begins and stuff like that. It looks like
How
it
did
goes
the second one go? We beat that. You know what's funny? Didn't we 100% that game?
I think so.
We
That's where I
we got the
started.
cat down to its weight goal. We got a bajillion dollars from playing the mini games because we were idiots and didn't realize we were earning money for that shit. We upgraded the weapon all the way. We
Okay. The one thing that I hate about Pokemon games,
oh
for the DS at least, there's no post game shit. Except for completing the Pokedex, which, in all honesty, how are you supposed to finish in the old games when you beat all the
that's
trainers?
what the cord was for. You traded with people.
Do you get? Okay, wait. In order to earn more money, what do you do?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. That's a good question.
That's where the Pokemon Coliseum fixed that. I thought.
Yeah,
That's
where
where
you
it
were
was
able to-
amazing. I thought going back to the gyms and battling them to earn money.
It was just an underground arena where like it was a betting place and you put in money to bet and then you
that
won the tournament and you won and then you got like 5 times the money you got like put in.
that sounded
Remember
awesome.
how we got rich on that too? You know what it was?
We
It's-
were
Yeah,
why?
you-
Why did we have good strategies when we were kids?
No,
for
I think it's
money?
because it was just fun to do anyways. Because we were like, fuck yeah. And it was also because the mechanic of unlocking the heart happened through battle at times too.
Yeah.
Like using them.
But I mean, in No More Heroes, like the mini games.
Yeah, I don't know why the fuck we were so good at that shit. I think it was because the most optimal route is just the one that like
Is easy.
you'll funnel into, like, and also like because it was here's the thing: if you have to consciously do something, like if it requires a lot of cognitive like awareness that you are doing that thing, beyond its
Yeah, that's
fun,
where
is like I think that's how a lot of people get a lot of souls and Dark Souls is like when they level up and they like go back to an area to level up, they're like leveling up and or getting souls, and then they like suddenly die and then they're like looking at their souls number real quick and they're like, oh shit, I forgot because I leveled up and because it was so much fun at this level now, like I can beat the shit out of these creatures. I forgot I need to go back and use those souls to level up, and then so they run back with the like huge tension of like I need to get those souls, I need to run back, and then I need to level the fuck up, and then I can go into the area I need to progress the story, and then it's like,
Well,
fun.
that's also where like I in Spider-Man and like I upgraded all of my shit. I unlocked all the suits, and it's like now what?
Yeah,
There's always like that now what after a game. That's all how I always
I think
feel.
the arcade shit, like, okay, Taskmaster should have been a DLC or an arcade thing, I feel.
Oh, dude, where you like get high scores
And you can even compare them on leaderboards or something.
Yeah, they need more elaborate tasks for a Taskmaster. Like I don't necessarily like the bombs. I like the fighting ones, like where you beat up people, you use your like gadgets to earn more points and stuff like that.
Yeah, those little things are nice. One thing I like.
Oh, the drone. Chasing the drone was really cool too.
Chasing the drone was an amazing feat
That was
I did
fucking-
because I started glitching. Like my game started glitching when I was restarting, and I was getting so frustrated. And I had a glitched one where I wasn't webbing at first, and then as soon as I started webbing, I got the best time, and I was
Sean.
like, "Oh my god, yes!"
Sean,
And
I
freaking
glitched.
took it.
I glitched into a building.
Remember that time I found the spot where in the Second Son, infamous Second Son,
Oh, you went
Where
down
I
that
would-
pole?
I found the pole where you can go under the map.
Jesus.
Dude, I have a picture of it or something. We could fucking find it again.
But yeah,
See if it
I
does that.
glitched into a building somehow. And
Did
then
you?
I was like trying to swing out, and I was like, wait, why does it look weird? It looks introverted. Like inside out, you know?
Inverted.
And I was like, I'm in the building, I realized. And then I recorded myself just swinging in the building.
Oh, in the one rectangular structure.
Yeah, like I could see outside. Okay. But I couldn't escape. Why?
I don't know, Jake.
I had
Was
to
there
fast.
texture on the inside?
Not really. It was just kind of like blank and flat. Dark.
Okay, damn.
It
that
was
sucks.
nighttime.
Oh, okay. That sucks.
I gotta show you the video.
Yeah, because you recorded it. That's good.
But it was like, why did I get into this building? How do I get out?
Dude, I freaked out the first time I did that in Second Son, where I found the pole, and then you were there with me, so it was
Remember when I did that in Robots and the game just broke? I
yeah.
slid under.
No, but that was part of the story. You had to go back.
Yeah, I know, but then I slid under something, and
Oh,
then I just
yeah.
continued falling.
And then we were like sliding in the void forever.
Yeah,
And I remember we were like, it's busted. It sucks.
yeah.
Oh,
And
man.
then I never found the disc after that.
Sadly. Dude, I would love to try and play robots again.
I would love to play the Monsters Inc. game again.
Oh my god, the Monsters Inc. We had one guy left, and it was the tall guy we needed to unlock. That was the last guy. That was the last guy. We were so close, Jake. We were so close to 100%ing. And I remember
But
remember
anyways.
how no. Remember how we beat the game like the story of it or whatever it was? And then we were like going back to unlock the characters, and then we were like, why are we unlocking some characters but not others? And then we realized that there's specific things we have to do to unlock certain characters.
Yeah.
And then we started doing that, and then we started unlocking them very rapidly, and then we were on that last guy, and it was like, just win this game. And it was like, but we never won it. And
But back to the post-game stuff. Also,
full games would have post-game stuff. That's what I believe. That's why Pokemon will never be a finished game. Imagine a Pokemon game where you can take your party from one game and like, or one region, and like take them into a new region. You'd be fucking dominating, or get your ass swamped.
that's where I feel like they limit, like, Game Freak has limited themselves to the DS. Like, they limited themselves to the DS or the handheld devices for a long time.
Yeah, now
But
now
now-
with the console,
I
they're
wanna-
going graphics rather than game mechanics, and I fucking hate it. I want them to do something a little more, you know?
Like,
Okay. I wanted to bring up some ideas I wrote down, and we were talking about in the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay, because we're talking about games a lot, and I want to move back to the subject of like fantasy and writing and books and stuff.
yeah.
All right, so I talked about in the very beginning. If you're still here from the beginning, listener,
Maybe you skipped over the.
yeah,
other
who
shit.
knows? Maybe you skipped in the middle and you have no idea. But Viola the Wizard is a little project I'm doing right now in this recording, or to this date of the recording, with some people. And with this animation project, I'm thinking of other things to add in as tidbits of things that can happen or be added or be introduced throughout it, or even other projects I could make in the future. And some of these are old ideas from old things, and some of them are some of them are brand new things, right? So here's just a scene. I feel like when I was first writing this, of course I went in the mindset of like, I need to write some things down for scenery of like practicing like writing scenes and stuff. And one of them is this: two birds sing together and follow down a path leading into a tree, which snatches them out of the air mid-song, eating them both, blossoming shortly after. Like, so it like it's a like, but what I was thinking at the time when I wrote it was, oh, the tree grabs them, eats it in like whatever kind of hole, like some crunching sounds happen, some blood seeps into the sap, and then suddenly like color blooms into it, and then it blooms flowers or something. And I was thinking, man, like, because I was inspired a little bit by the way the flower worked
And
in the
Promise.
Promised Neverland. Yeah.
Promise.
God damn it. We talked about this, how that fucking name and your brain, Jacob's brain, which also reminds me of that night because you did the cup thing with testing for Flaud's fridge. That was the same night, I think, right?
Oh yeah.
you just did that, and you immediately, like, right after starting it, you were like, nope. It's so fucking stupid.
I know.
Here's another thing. Song notes carved into a crying tree's back that soothes its soul when sung. Sung hummed or played or spoke. So like even if you speak the notes, like it'll calm the tree. And the tree guards a room full of treasure and magic. So I was thinking like the crying tree is a waterfall, and you cannot pass the waterfall. It's too heavy a flow. And then you soothe the tree, and the path is revealed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Since you're
Yeah. Here's another one. A boy. This one's more of like a fucking thick ass paragraph that it's kind of like a plot to a book. It sounds like. A boy who collects wands finds a legend about how to summon a demon using 3 wands and any stone that may also be in their realm. The stone's shadow is the demon's form by the candlelight, but you must have a name to summon. So you must like have a written demon's name or something like that to summon. So you read it aloud, and the demon is summoned. And the candlelight causes the shadow of the stone to be the demon's form, and you can make the demon go away by blowing out the candle. He calls the name he wanted wrong, bringing forth a small but vicious evil. Finding his friends and all his wands to help stop the harassing evil that slowly grows, and to redeem slowly grows, he seeks out to redeem himself. He finds himself, and in the process, he finds himself growing into a legend. He also finds himself growing into a legend himself. I wrote himself again down there, and I think I also criticized myself right after writing that, and I was like, I wrote himself like 3 times. Didn't need that. Grammar.
sometimes when my brain is refreshing, whenever I'm writing, I sometimes
Write the same thing. Yeah, I do that too. It happens. It's just something that happens when writing. And then here's another one that sounds like a book little thing, or a chapter summary maybe. 2 brothers team up and fight a rapidly growing magical bush of thorns. This is a good one. This is one that I really like, and I even drew the stick. I drew the character, I should have said. And I was writing down names because I can't choose one for it. I could have also thought, like, could it be a Stan or a Stanley Pines situation where he just gets multiple names over time? But a stick that talks and is alive. It goes from person to person, learning things and somehow surviving everything. Like, it's just literally a stick that one day like has a mech suit, or like or is in a knight's armor and like controlling it. Like that balloon from Phineas and Ferb where somehow the balloon was really alive and controlled a mech suit, and then eventually its head popped or something.
Yeah, that was interesting.
That was fucking hilarious. This is a good one. This sounds like a Gravity Falls thing. And it was also inspired by the imagery of Gravity Falls because I was thinking of the puppet scene with Dipper. So good. An inverted puppet where, when worn, it controls the wearer and uses them to talk and all that.
Interesting.
So, like, you put this puppet on, and it starts controlling you.
So it's like that brain alien in Futurama?
You don't mean the giant floating brain.
No, the one where Hermes had a fucking slug thing.
Yes.
Yeah, that.
Yes,
That one.
And that is the last of those I have.
All right.
There is another one, actually, I think I didn't read. An owl statue on the grounds of a decrepit old school leads to an old hideout of former students. The owl talks and listens. A short but old phrase is the password. So, like, it's just an old phrase, like, that the older students thought was tricky enough to not like have anybody discover the place or whatever, right? It's like, but for I don't know, fucking something stupid, or maybe an old but complicated phrase, or maybe an inside joke. Like a teacher always said this phrase, like, and so that's how it be, and it's like, and so that how it be. And then the statue fucking moves out of the way. And it's like, okay, bro, you can go in. You know the joke.
You have to do the gestures and everything.
That'd be fucking annoying, especially if, like, say you're, especially if you're in a tricky situation you're trying to hide.
Well, Harry had to fucking tap fucking statue with his wand and say a password in order to get that slide to Hogsmeade.
You're right.
So
Look, dude,
they can.
Rowling has convoluted her world.
I know
to
that.
no end. Okay, so like that complicated shit. But like, think about someone in a hurry. I get like, do you have to do it in a specific rhythm, or do you have to like, if you're not a drummer at heart, do you fuck it up? You have to tap my nose 23 times and then say the password. Boogergoose.
Well, that's where magic. I think that's where magic should have some sort of fucking flaw in it. You know. That's where curses like have like I don't know.
You know what? I feel like a curse in a magical world should be like a common illness, where it's kind of like a UFO. Like a UFO just means unidentified flying object, right? But as soon as you identify it, you use that name for the object, right? So it's like, oh, he's got a curse, and it's like, oh God, I hope this curse isn't that bad. You know, it's kind of like, I hope this sickness isn't that bad or something. You know, it's like an ailment. It's not really that serious. You know,
It could be like that. It could be like, you untie your shoes, won't
curse,
stay tied
or yeah,
for a week.
and
I
it's
don't
like,
know.
and it's like, oh, like, but then you identify the curse, and then the curse has a name or something.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, that's a Flandurus curse, and it's like a Flandurus, and it's like, yeah, there was a guy named Flandurus. He was the first one to do it when tied using strings to tighten your shoes on people's feet was becoming a common thing, and it's like, oh, so it's named
Interesting.
after him. Yeah, because he wanted to keep his shoes tied, but then he fucked up and did a reversal.
So
So he just kept untying his shoes.
okay.
And it's like, but we know how to undo it. And it's like, oh, was it undone by the same guy?
And that's where cursing objects should be a thing. You know?
A curse shop is kind of like going to a doctor's office, only for your objects.
Exactly.
Can you uncurse my typewriter? Well, what keeps happening?
I have
Well, the thing gets stuck, but not only that, but it taps rapidly, as if I'm clicking it, but I'm not. Clearly, I'm not, right? You see that E? Why is the E staying? And brrr, like tapping a million E's. It's like, well, for now, I can't identify what the curse is, or it's a curse. So you'll have to wait until I find out what it is. It's like, does that feel like it could be appropriately used?
yes, it could be.
Now, here's the other thing, though.
Or James.
If someone wanted to say like a different word for that type, like hexed, that's fine. Hex is also an okay thing. If that's more your style of using the flowery language of magic in your world building thing, that's fine. But I think it should be used in that way. I don't know. I haven't created the rules, obviously, for the language of that would be my own book. Because anyone can make their own language in whatever book they write.
Well, I don't have anything like magical or anything like that, but I have some like action scene ideas.
Ooh, yeah. Go ahead.
Like because Grandma watches those movies and stuff, and I just get captured.
Yeah, because they're good movies.
Well,
She has good taste, except for the sound design on some of them. Fucking
Yeah.
suck.
I know.
Whoever mixes the fucking sound,
fucking suck.
oh my god.
Okay,
Overbearing music.
so like a person running away from a kidnapper or like pursuer or something like that. And I thought it was really smart where she jumps, like she's like books it into the forest, and she like runs and runs until she like meets a river, and it's like jump into the river, like don't just stand there, Jesus. And then yeah, she jumps into the river. It's like yes, it's like I like smart like I'm so done with
Stopping at the riverbed.
yeah, and then getting captured and like getting dragged back to the house like you're stupid or you can't swim or something. Like it's the 21st century. Like people should know how to swim. No offense, I feel bad for people who have a phobia of water and swimming and stuff like that, but it's just like it is a useful skill to have.
I feel like that should be the best motivation to being afraid of, like, to being able to learn how to swim, is being afraid of water, because you want to be. Once you learn how to swim, then it can't consume you. You're conquering it.
Yeah.
You're using it as a tool rather than it using or consuming you.
Yeah. Like, but I don't want to.
Yeah, I don't want to bash on people necessarily for that, because
But
it
it's
it is a phobia and people have it. It exists.
But like I'm not trying to say necessarily get over that fear, but it's just if you want to like survive a kidnapper or something like that or pursuer, learn how to swim. Maybe it's a useful skill. Just say it. Anyways,
Especially if you know you are definitely going to die from that person, take your risk with like hypothermia, because there are ways for you to warm up beyond like.
yeah, I'd rather drown than have someone murder me. You know.
If someone was gonna murder me, it better be in such a quick fashion that I go, "Whoa, good shot," or "Whoa, that was quick." You know, I'd rather be dead and be impressed of how quickly I was killed by a person rather than slowly. You know, like,
Oh, you killed me because you like it.
you killed me because you liked seeing the pain on my face. Fuck you. That's not impressive. That's sloppy, lazy work. The other thing is, I think it's because people kill other people slowly in some ways because they don't know how to kill them quickly. You know what I mean?
Probably.
Or they think they're killing them quickly, but they don't know that they're not.
Okay.
I don't know.
Another thing that, okay, the one thing that, the one movie that I had that I wrote these like scenes kind of from that had some good ideas, and I had some bad had bad executions. Kidnapper gets her and locks her in a room and stuff, takes her shoes away, but doesn't take her sweater or anything else that she can choke him with or blind him with, like her shirt or anything like that. Like,
yeah, you could still choke someone with like a shirt.
like if someone you know
what?
if someone kidnapped me and I still had my sweater,
If I still had any of my clothes,
I would use that to my advantage.
the smartest thing, get them completely naked, because then they're exposed and they feel they're gonna like. Some people are definitely gonna focus more on their body, like trying to hide their body and like not give you the goods like to look at or whatever, right?
Yeah. And so like I was like weird that this guy didn't like.
Maybe
It's okay. It was a weird movie to begin with because he's just some stalker that wanted to know how her husband died from this woman, and it's like, what the fuck? So it was like really weird to me. It was a weird movie, but like all these like executions like of like kidnapping and like escaping the kidnapper and stuff like that were really well done in some aspects. Like,
but the execution felt a little like,
it felt a little weird to me because like he stalked her. Like, I looked up the movie like plot point because I wanted to know where grandma was in the movie and how close she was to being done with it.
yeah, being the end.
Because like
anyways, because he one point like goes into the locked room with her and like has a tablet and shows like video footage of him stalking her and her husband, and then just wants to know what happened to him. Like, that's what I was like very confused about. Like, there was nothing else like there was nothing else depicting of how they know each other or anything like that. She doesn't know him. She's like very confused because she saw him at like this one place, and then like she stopped in the middle of the road and like had like a broken arm and was like, "Can you help me with like my engine come out?" And it's like, "No. Do you want me to call someone?" It's like, "No, just come out and help me." And it's like, if someone denies a phone call, run.
I feel like that's a bit like you're jumping the gun there a little bit.
No,
But-
no.
Okay.
I'm not jumping the gun. If they say that they need help and you don't feel safe because you're by yourself, male or female, and you ask, "Oh, do you want me to call a tow truck or something? Because I don't know anything about this." Call, either forcibly like call, be like, "Yeah, I'll just call someone," and they're like, "No, no,
Oh,
no."
okay. I
But-
feel if the scenario is like if I ask them, "Do you know what you're doing?" Like, if it's something to do with muscle, then fine. But if it's something to do with the mechanic of it, like the ingenuity of it, then I can't help you.
That's all I'm.
But what I'm saying is like sometimes maybe like, okay, explain to me what you need me to do. Help me figure out what. No, not figure out. If you know what it is, then great, I'll help you. But if you don't know what it is, and you don't need my help because you know what it is, like with a physical thing, like if it's a physical labor thing, then I feel like it's fine. Like if they need me to like hold something out of place for them to mess with something that they know, then fine. Then they don't need to call help. They just need me to move it out of the way or hold something for the like rain or
Okay.
something out of their way or something. If it's something like that, then fine, I'll help you. But if you can't explain to me what you need me to do, then I'll kindly deny and call help. But that's the thing is like you gotta ask the right questions and you gotta I don't know.
No,
But I understand
I
your
just
point.
say be more precautionary than anything. And if they deny a phone call of like, "Do you need me to call a friend for you? I'll wait here in my car for you, for your friend to call," you know.
yeah.
Like, and if they deny that shit, I'm just saying if you're alone, that's all I'm trying to say. Like, I don't know, like, use your best judgment, all I want to say.
Yeah. That's what I'm kind of saying.
But like, I'm taking it to extreme because it's like he was faking a fucking broken arm.
that is another thing is I would have been like, do you want me to call help for your car so you can drive yourself to the ER or something, or do you want me to drive you to the ER and we leave a note in your car if someone tries to tow it and we say don't fucking tow it, it's not broken or something like that, like some I don't know,
But okay, also,
like we said,
if it
best
was-
judgment. Like sorry, go ahead.
but if like he had his car like blocking like the road, which was suspicious in the first place. So,
Yeah, then I would have been like, yeah, okay, I'll help you with pushing your car out of the way
yeah.
because that's a manual labor thing, like I'm saying, like, or
I'm just
something
saying,
like
like,
that. Yeah.
Okay, usually when a car breaks down, it's usually people
Yeah, or
gradually
a parallel to the road,
yeah. They don't fucking unless like something
like they were turning around or something.
and then like they got stuck in a pothole or something and there was evidence of like them turning, then I don't know, like
Yeah, if it's like if it's 2-lane road, right, or 1-lane each side road, like is
Yeah.
what I mean. Like, then I'd understand if it's skinny enough to like get stuck on, and there's some like ditches on the side, right, and
Okay.
all that. Like I'd
And,
understand like maybe you get stuck, like trying to turn around.
Anyways,
But I would
we're-
definitely just fucking help. Like I don't know. Like my best, my best thing to do would be, like, ask what it is they need me to do.
And if they
Um,
can't specify, call for help. And if they can,
Definitely, if you find yourself in a scenario where you're being dragged to like be alone with someone, you got to tell someone else that you're going alone. You're going to be alone with someone.
Yeah.
Like just give an like alibi or
Okay.
the accounting of like you doing something with another person, right? Like call or what I would do is I would start recording what like I did with Craig and his whatever landlady or whatever, because she's weird, and I just recorded myself because I was like, I want proof whether she signed something or not, you know.
Yeah.
For like and like all that shit, and also not only that, but maybe do a phone call, like also what time, like
She had a cell phone and she had called 911 on the highway and was asking, "Can you locate me?" But then like her fucking tires popped somehow some way. Because he was stalking the fuck out of her on this one-way highway, it seemed. Or
Yeah.
two-way, like there was
yeah
you know what I mean.
one each way.
One each way. And like it seemed very fucking planned for something, and I was like so confused. Like
Yeah, I understand like it feeling planned. Like there's when it's planned, we'll know. You know, human brains, we can figure out it. We see patterns. We see
Yeah.
patterns very easily.
like
so
she saw him once like at a hotel she was checking out at it, and then she saw him another time at like fucking on the highway, and then like he was broke down, right? But then he shows up at the fucking rest stop that she's at. How? Fucking how? He's broke down, I thought. That's where I'm like, dude, call 911 now.
yeah, if that's after like this whole scene that we were talking about with
with the car situation, that's what I was.
the car. That at that point, yes, call the police. I'm sorry, you had a lot of context for yourself in there, but I just was like, I felt like you
Well-
jumped the gun because of how you like. If you see someone like, and you're by yourself asking, like someone's asking for help, like don't call 911. It's like, yeah,
No,
I mean,
okay.
you can if you're definitely smart about it and you know where you are and stuff.
Well, I
you can
guess-
locate.
I think you're butchering me a bit.
I know I am. I know I am. I'm tying my shoe at the same time, so my brain is working a lot of things.
No problem. Well, I was just, I know I was jumping the gun and was like, if they refuse
Yeah,
if they ask for help from you, just you, and you say, "Oh, I don't know how to help you. Let me call someone that can help you,"
and
and they refuse that help, run.
yeah, that's when you should run. That's a
That's
beautiful
what
way
I
to-
was.
yeah,
That's what I
that-
was just trying to
That's
say.
a beautiful way to put it. You try and turn around. You go the other way since you know that there's more help that way. And if you start to see that person following you, then definitely call 911. You got a cell phone. You go, I just passed this. Do you know where that is? And it's like, okay, well, I'm going to continue down the road until I run out of gas. You know, it's like, get the hell out of there.
And then I don't know. The movie just felt really weird to me because like,
Weird.
because
Sounds-
he was like, she didn't know him at all. Like he was randomly stalking her. He has a fucking family too, and it's like, where the fuck do you have the time for this?
Yeah, how do you have the time when you're a family man? How the hell do you have any time to murder someone? Like that's a good defense in court. It's like, Your Honor, I'm a family man. I simply feel like I just don't have the time to murder someone.
Well, I guess there is a lot of defense for that. People try to use that defense a lot, probably.
I'm a family man. When do I ever have the time?
Between this and this, when you're driving between
Also,
home.
like it's the prime location, blah blah blah. Like, and you took a time out of your schedule than normal, and that's where the anomaly is, and that's why you found the time. You made the time to murder someone. It's like,
Fair point.
Your Honor, he didn't have the time. That's why he had to make up the time. Your Honor, this is ridiculous. I'll
You
allow
made
it.
up the time.
How did I make up the time? No. Shut up. You're the one being suspected here. Shut the hell up. All right.
No, I want to know. How would I be able to make
That's
up
why
the-
I'm saying shut the fuck up and let him talk. All right, Your Honor. He made the time by scheduling it. Just like how you make the time and for anything else. You make the time for tea by putting time for tea on your schedule. You make the time to do the laundry by putting on the list. Time to do laundry. That
Check my
day.
list. See if there's murder on it.
Yes. Check my list. Check my list, Your Honor. Does murder come up on my list of chores to do? But do you write down when you have to pee, all that stuff? You make time for that, right? You don't write it down in your list, just like you don't write down, I'm going to murder.
Because that's leaving evidence. And it's like,
Schedule on Google, you say murder time. Dude, Google would fucking send the police at you immediately. They know your address, your number, your face, your voice, your penis size. Which one is your bad foot? All that shit. It's like, oh god, Google knows everything about me. They could create a clone of me anytime.
okay. And so,
I would love a court case where
moving
to
on
see-
from that movie.
Yes,
Moving on.
sorry. Go ahead.
I have more examples, like Ron Stoppable.
Yeah, not Weasley.
So he like opens the door of like bad guys at first, and he's like, "Oh shit!" Then closes it, and then he breaks the button.
The button, the lock, the padlock, right?
Yeah, and I was like, "That was smart."
Yeah, Ron. He may seem cowardly, but he's a smart coward. He's fucking genius. Okay, he's not. That's the thing. Is like being cowardly doesn't mean you're stupid, right?
Yeah.
Like I hate it when it's like you somehow become stupid when you're a coward in a movie. You know what I mean?
I understand where like dumb thought comes into play. It's like,
Or flailing. Like I hate the idea of like you're flailing around and your brain isn't really thinking of ideas. It's just like
I gotta get out of here.
it's improving on the spot. If you're good at improv, then maybe you'll survive most things. Who knows? That's why improv is a mandatory class in my school. You have to learn to think on the spot. Too bad it's mostly going to be comedy based.
not action based.
Who knows? Actually, action based like I almost said action based comedy. Action based improv would be amazing. That's like what a fight is, I guess.
Like, I would use like, you would be able to use like laser tag and shit.
Oh
you know?
fuck yeah, dude! Laser tag. I was just thinking of the laser tag guns now.
Yeah.
Okay, back to the scene. That just makes me trust in Ron for like if he's running, I'm following him. I'm fucking following you, Ron.
Yeah.
I'm right on your tail. And
And-
even if I start to run faster than you, I'm like, Ron, where should we go? It's like up the air vent or something.
And another thing is that Ron faces his fears. Like he stood up to Monkey Fist by gaining the power
of the monkey. Remember?
Well, he was the chosen one all along, anyways.
Yeah. Well, then Rufus is like has some like some
Monkey
of the power.
powers.
Yeah.
I think it's his familiar, rather than like he's a wizard boy, dude. Think about it. Rufus is his familiar. Also, Rufus is like genetically enhanced in some way. It seems.
Yeah, I think he's.
Yeah, because later on, his children are like buff ass, baby heighted, like toddler height, fucking mole rats. And it's like naked mole rats. It's like it'd be a freaky fucking thing to look at. Like if that thing came out of a time portal, I think the world was taken over by worms. I'd be like, what the fuck? With a gun? You have a gun? No, you have a gun. What's with the gun? You know who I've been watching lately? My own voice, made me think of Caleb City. He's fucking amazing, dude. And I watched the superhero interview thing recently, and there was but dude, bro, why? Like, it's a guy who he was like, I can summon spiders, and he was like, get out, get out, yo, bro, why, get out.
Oh, dude.
It's fucking amazing.
Okay. Speaking of superheroes, I was watching My Hero Academia, and Midoriya versus Shinzo, the mind control person.
Mm-hmm.
And right after his fight, he's like walking off, and then like heroes were saying what I was saying about like his power of like, you know,
It could be good in a hostile situation. Like,
yeah, you'd be able to take down a villain like easily with that quirk. And it's like, man, I wish I had that quirk. And then
Yeah.
his classmates look down at him and it's like, hey, look, people are fucking talking about you. And then after the break, he buffs up because he realized that he needed to be more physically like inclined to.
yeah, he was a little too confident with his quirk.
Yeah.
The other thing is, if you go in with like the first, like not talking to them and just fists a flying, and you like assess their skills based off of fighting with them, then you could be like, hey, blah 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 question, and it's like, what the hell does that mean? And then it's like, ooh, you get captured, you know, like in your mind, and you're like, I cannot move, and it's like, you're probably thinking, oh, I can't move anymore. I can't think and I can't speak. Well,
And
you're gonna blah, blah, blah.
rewatching,
You know, it's like, oh fuck yeah, that power would be great as a hero quirk.
rewatching those. I was watching Shoto versus Sero. You know, Icy Hot versus Tape.
Yeah, tape guy,
And
yeah,
like like Todoroki just like fucking encases him in ice.
yeah, that was so unfair.
But the reason why he went up to him and he apologized to him, like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, he was like, sorry,
I was
man.
just angry.
He got a little angry. He's like, a little angry. It's like, ooh. Didn't his like the ice is like was starting to consume him a little bit?
When he started to fight Midoriya, yeah.
Oh,
Because he was exerting himself of the ice.
he was also trying to get to his fireside because he wasn't going to use it. Like it was it was a handicap he was giving himself.
Yeah. And then like
Finally, he had to use it,
and then Midoriya was like,
it's your quirk. Like
it's not
his. It's yours. You know?
And then it's like, why are you smiling, Midoriya? You're about to lose.
And he's like, because you fucking finally made it your own.
It's like, he might have won this battle, but he won the war.
Yeah, you won the battle, but it's not the war. You know, it's like, fucking A, man. You know, it's a show that I feel like has not, like, it's praised, but there are not many clips from it anymore, at least from what I see, used in memes or anything. Flapjack. It's praised and loved, and it's definitely one of those ones that's like a Courage the Cowardly Dog kind of situation where it's like it traumatized some kids, but it also inspired others. You know?
I was the inspired.
Oh yeah, I'm part of the inspired generation. I'm like
Sarah was the
traumatized. She's traumatized by that shit. Oh, that's sad. That's sad. She grew up in a Christian home. I guess that's why. Fucking sheltered. That's a sad thing. I'm sorry.
I gotta bump the laundry very soon.
Oh, there were other talking points I wanted. Okay, Shrek and Shrek 2.
Yes.
You know what I bought recently and talked about? It came into my mind randomly at work. A beautiful sentient robot. When I say that, what's the first robot that comes to mind?
Wally and Johnny Five.
Yes! Yes, Johnny Five. Okay, Johnny Five is what came to mind. The scene in Short Circuit where I'll wait till you get back.
You could have described the whole scene.
Within that time span?
Yeah. And I could have been like
I guess.
formulating my shit.
Came over here.
Gotta.
Oh damn! It was right here.
How the fuck did
It
you
was
miss
right
that?
there.
You're the one right next to it.
It was right there, and I
Look,
missed.
I can't believe you. I cannot fucking believe you.
Anyways, what scene?
Okay, the scene where they're out in the desert and they're hanging out and they're trying to like assess that Johnny is alive or whatever, right? And they give up, but then what's his name pours some coffee onto a paper, and then he folds the paper in half, and then he shows it to Johnny, and then he starts listing the ingredients. That's paper, but like, oh, the coffee, ground beans, blah blah blah. You know, like and or
Wait, which movie is this one?
first one, Short Circuit.
Okay.
Short Circuit 2 is the one we first saw
Yeah.
when we were kids, and we owned on VHS and watched till that fucking tape basically destroyed.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
So the first.
Short Circuit, and all that shit. And they're out in the desert and they're trying to like prove to themselves that Johnny's alive, and they're doing all these like little tests or figuring it out or asking him questions and stuff like that. And then finally they do that butterfly thing, and then they're like, "Oh, Johnny, you're not alive. See, he's just a robot. He's just a machine." And then Johnny's staring at the paper, and then he goes, "Oh, I see a butterfly." And they're like, "Oh my god, he's alive! Oh my god, he's got a soul!"
How does that prove that he has a soul?
Because he was listing everything or answering everything in a very mechanical fashion, right? And then something like that, abstract, Jake, abstract. He answered something from abstraction, something you're like only known machines to do is like the human brain, or like organic brains, I should say. Mechanical brains, they can't interpret something that's abstract. They only give us the facts. They only give us to us straight. They're fucking like
So he was listing all the ingredients
of the coffee.
of the coffee and the paper.
Or he was listing different, like he was listing thesauruses for it, like coffee, a cup of joe, like stuff like that.
Wow, that's kind of quirky.
It is quirky. Like it's kind of like he's autistic, where he's got like he just wants to list everything.
It's like, what is this? And it's like coffee,
Well,
cup
it's
of
a pa-
joe,
Yeah.
piece of paper,
A
and it's like, okay,
one-page
whatever.
story.
it's like, okay, I give up.
And then he
he-
gets to stare at it and just silently ponder, and suddenly it clicks in his brain. Oh my god, it's a butterfly! Yeah!
And it's like,
Yeah! Woo! It was great. He built a version of himself to ride out, like with his spare part, like out of his spare parts, he made another one of them and then rode off, and then that was the one that they blew up. because Johnny blew up the other ones.
Oh yeah, he like
He destroyed his brothers. He was like,
he Three Stooged them.
"You're, oh my god, right."
He made
Oh
them.
yeah, because he was
He
watching
made
the
them
TV.
into three. Yeah, he made them into Three Stooges.
Wise guy. Yeah, I fucking love that.
But yeah, that's a really good movie.
It is a good movie. And then Short Circuit 2, which is the one we watched first and a million times. We I remember now comparing them, the first one is so much more lighthearted. Sure, it's got laser and blows things up and stuff, but he doesn't kill anybody or anything.
No, he like
But in the first one, he nearly died, or second one, he nearly dies. He's
Yeah.
beaten to near death, and he has to talk via chalk.
that's what makes it so.
The guys were about to freeze to death.
Oh yeah,
They were trying to break out
yeah. That was
desperately. Ooh, a lot darker. Also, they were doing toys of Johnny.
Shouldn't the government be kind of questioning that?
Yeah, they should be, because they were the scientists working for the government to develop those things. And why wouldn't they just order more from them?
Oh wait,
Security cameras.
wait. The dude. Wait, I remember now. The dude was on the street selling them. He built miniaturized version.
Yeah, he was building mini versions of Johnny Five.
Yeah, and then he was selling them on the street, and then because he was the scientist.
But why was he able to do that? I thought, like you said, he would get why didn't the government question him or something?
You know what? It was a failed project, and it's a toy version. What harm can it do?
I don't know. The large ones had laser guns.
Cell phone. Listen, governments had cell phones first.
You're right.
So anything that the government had, now the public has,
Or will eventually have.
or will eventually have.
Like holograms. I swear they have holograms.
I don't think holograms.
What? Holograms are possible. Dude, I bet you it'll be like a glass thing. There'll be a sheet of glass that is brought up in the dart, the back of the dart things to help it fly. I bet you it'll be like a sheet of glass like that. And they'll project an image into it.
And it'll just be able
it'll-
to.
Yeah. Or it'll be an optical illusion where a kind of glass thing where it'll be like a cylinder, but what's being projected, it's the same perspective for everyone. So it's not an actual 3D piece as if it's a like a cardboard box is actually there. It's everyone will see it's like a flat image being projected into it.
So,
And
it's someone.
so if
standing.
you walked around the room, you'd see it would be as if it was following you to have that perspective.
Oh, jeez.
But I feel like that's what could be possible.
Where do you
Who
think?
is outside right now?
I don't know.
I'm kind of suspicious on that. But Johnny Five came up into mind, and I bought the movies. You
Oh,
want-
nice.
Yeah, you want to watch the movies soon?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. What time is it?
It's like 7 something.
And we've been going for 2 hours and 20 minutes,
Damn.
which it feels a lot shorter than that.
Yeah. I was just telling to Grandma and Grandpa that when we talk, it feels like 5 minutes to us, but
Yeah, it feels like so
it's
short.
oh, it's 2 hours.
It's been 2 hours. Whoops.
Oh.
Yeah, we're like, what are you doing? Oh, nothing. Heading to bed. What about you? And then we talked for 2 hours somehow, and then we're like,
Okay.
it's oh, it's 1 a.m. already. Whoops. Whoops.
We should get food soon.
Yes, I was about to say the same thing. Is I want to get up to get food. Oh, last time we talked about the Mandalorian.
Yeah, we were meant to come back and talk about the Mandalorian because
Yeah, and we've just gone 2 hours without talking about it.
yeah, that is ridiculous.
No, but we did talk about it. We talked about it in the beginning with the chapter stuff.
Yeah,
So
but
we talked of it,
briefly.
but not about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Mandalorian's great. I like Luke's entrance, but I also would have loved him not to be in the series at all because it would have made more sense, tied in with the movies. But if they want to bring in this shit, or if they brought him in and whatever his name, the kid, what's his name?
Grogu.
Grogu. Yeah, if Grogu denied going with Luke, and Luke kind of questioned it, like, are you sure that's like really what you want, and it, like all that shit, you know, like, or saying I'll try and come back for you, like, or I'll look for, I will find you when I have more students or something like that.
Yeah, it didn't. I don't know.
Another thing is, it feels kind of weird to have what is essentially, in my opinion, a little bit of a sibling with Luke and Ahsoka. Like Ahsoka and Luke are essentially siblings because like Anakin taught Ahsoka, but Ahsoka was kind of like his kid. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I loved her entrance and
I love how cartoony. Well, not how like unrealistic she felt. It like in her
But
scenes,
it-
but
but
it
it
felt
was-
like
the cartoon came to life.
yeah,
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
yes,
The- like, the-
yes, yes.
Oh
That
my-
is exactly what I mean. That's more what I mean than what I
the
was
costume
saying.
department. Oh.
The special effects team on point.
Okay.
Oh,
To me-
it's so good.
Okay. To me, those things.
The hair things,
yeah,
are
the hair
weird,
things.
right?
And on the other one, on the other two, the brother and sister, if you remember the one.
Yes.
Okay. To me, I could tell that they were foam.
Oh, you mean on Ahsoka?
On Ahsoka and those two as well.
Well, sometimes it brings a little bit of a handcraftiness.
Well,
To me,
I love it. I love it. I appreciate them so much.
yeah,
like-
it makes me
Ah.
feel like it makes it feel a little more possible to make it myself.
Yes. That's what like I just loved. Like I could tell that they were like foam because of the texture that they
Yeah,
how,
the
how
texture.
they moved and stuff. But
Yeah.
it just was like, oh,
It's so
awesome.
good, right? Like it's like now when you go to a convention, when we're able to go to conventions and people
It
are
will
cosplaying,
look-
it'll
look
feel a little more realistic.
Yes.
Oh,
Ah.
fuck yeah. That's another thing about like cheesy costumes with things, right?
That's what I like. That's what I kind of like about the Star Wars costumes. They don't look pristine.
Yeah, that's another thing. It's a western in space.
Yes.
It's World War II in space. Like that, it's fucking World War II in space. And World War II was not glorious, okay? We didn't have pristine, like shiny looking weapons. Our weapons were just like they're weapons. They're a weapon, you know, like they're not
Oh,
beautiful looking.
Sean, did you like that meme I showed you where Dinjin meeting all these people and not knowing how famous they are in the franchise?
What was the Godzilla one I showed you?
Oh, tell Mothra. Why did you say that name?
Oh, yeah, yes. Save Martha.
Mothra.
Martha?
Mothra.
Oh, it said Mothra?
Yeah.
Oh. Why did you say that name? But it's referencing the stupid Martha scene
I
from
know.
fucking Batman v Superman. Such a... that movie is ridiculous, dude. I
That's-
watched a review of it again recently, like talking about everything about it, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
The only thing that Ben Affleck says that he enjoyed out of that was getting to dress up for his son's birthday or whatever.
that was it.
Yeah.
He doesn't feel good about getting in the costume and representing Batman a little bit.
No, he didn't.
What is this sound?
Sounds like someone's being towed. We'll be right back.
Yeah, I'm not stopping recording. I'm just gonna. We're back. Everything's good.
Okay.
Honestly, we could do a part 2 of recording, like we were supposed to.
Of The Mandalorian.
Yeah, I feel like no promises, no promises. Let's finish up our thoughts here, because we've been recording for 2.5 hours.
All right.
Already. It doesn't feel like we got, because we've been giving a lot each other space a lot, which is also why this feels very short, I guess, of a hangout. Because last time we've been hanging out, it's been movies.
Yeah.
Which are fun, but we haven't been talking.
I know.
So it's like, But also I think it's good because I want to have the habit of saving it for the podcast.
Yeah.
Because I think it'll be more interesting that way.
I do too.
Work has been crazy. Got some new people. And actually it's been a hell of a lot easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. It's real good. That's my footnotes of work. Not
I'm
much else to note
hoping. I'm
about
hoping
that.
they survive Jenny.
So far, they're surviving Jenny.
Okay.
One of them feels like they only have like 2 days out of the week that they're working because they have the other job. And the 2 days that they're working, they're still learning a bunch of things. And it feels very frustrating having to listen to Jenny teach them all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's so dumb. But yeah. Yeah. Not much else to note on that, actually. We were talking Spider-Man a lot. Incredibles 2.
Yeah. But
Shrek 1 and 2 is amazing.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't get my full thoughts out on The Mandalorian.
Oh,
just yet.
sorry. Yeah. Because we did the tow truck to see what was happening.
Yeah.
Now it's finally gone. Actually, now that we finished that portion of the mystery, it disappeared.
Yeah, I know.
It was as if we like caught the tail end of it.
Yeah. So I have found some songs in the nerdcore community for Baby Yoda and The Mandalorian.
Yeah, you showed me the.
I didn't like.
Oh.
Okay, there is this one by Divide Music that's way better
Okay.
for Baby Yoda, but the Mandalorian songs by Aaron Fraser Nash is so much better. Like, I like the second one versus the first one that he made.
Who's the guy that did the?
The
Will he let me play with his lightsaber?
yeah, that's Aaron Fraser Nash's. That was on Aaron Fraser's channel, but I don't think
He was singing that part now.
I don't think it was him singing that part because he has guest singers.
A lot of the time, yeah.
Like like there's this one called like his best mate Etch that he has like featured on a lot. But I found some female vocalists out of his from his featured list and stuff like that.
Yes, yes.
I don't know why
I don't. Yeah, I don't know what broke your mouth there for a minute.
I don't know either. I guess it
was. You know what it was? It was your indecisiveness of how to describe your discovery of the female vocalist talent guest list.
Yes.
It's like, how do you want to describe them? All of the description.
Everything. They're amazing, talented.
You know, a dash of everything. That's how you cook. A little potion of sentence there for you. You have a verb, a noun, adjectives.
Have I shown you the Infinity War
rap?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have.
Okay.
Jake,
I just wanted.
It's like a year now, and you.
I'm not sure. It's like I have 200 of like these songs I've discovered,
and a lot of them I have listened to via playing the playlist at work. Okay, so I have heard a lot of them, and though I may not identify them because some of them will sound the same or like all that stuff because they blend together, or I don't know when one song ended and one song started because of all the guests or like all that shit with that playlist of 200 fucking songs.
Yeah, I know.
It gets a little like, did I listen to this one already?
That's where I have like the other playlist. Well, that's like where I have all the songs I've listened to and like, and then I have the ones that I really want to like have a mood for.
Or yeah, you gotta like set a genre like via the mood.
Yeah, and this is where like my trouble of organizing them comes into play.
Yeah, it does. But here's the thing, like maybe contact them and ask them like, what genre would you identify this as? Like that way I feel better organizing it for my personal playlist.
That's not like what I'm meaning, I guess. Like
I don't know, that's what it sounds like. You shit, I elbowed that.
Well, I mean like I like want to organize them in different ways. Like the
one list just the My Hero Academia characters, one list all the guests, one list all the guests but only an avatar. One list just the avatar music, one list like you want to do that, you want to make a bajillion lists, right?
Well, yeah, I do have all the like the shows in the playlist started up and stuff like that.
And you have those set up.
Yeah, and I have
already.
like
okay.
And I have one where it's like the one where like I have this one playlist where it's like where I start like the headbanger I want to call.
Yeah, the headbangers.
Yeah. I have that one going, and then I have like the original like the touchy-feely songs as well.
I did not know Jonathan Young did. You said touchy-feely. It made me think of every time we touch, I get.
Oh yeah,
he
did a rock
every
version.
time we kiss, I swear I can fly. Can't you hear my heartbeat slow? I can't let you go.
Yeah, Jonathan Young.
Need you in my life. I'm gonna do that every
hilarious.
fucking time. Let you talk and immediately interrupt you.
I know, and that's where my stutter comes in.
Yeah, you're right. I developed your stutter.
Not just
It's
you.
my greatest creation yet.
It's not just you.
I know. It's a bad habit that everyone seems to have around you, with you. It's really bad. I'm sorry about that.
Like, Grandma is the worst. Like, I try to talk and whatnot, and then she's like, trying to start
Barging, like bulldozing with this thought.
And it's like,
Did you ever think about how that fan could turn any higher?
it's like no.
Turn higher. I don't think it can. You know, it's like you gotta think. Or, yeah, I don't know. Like, not to make fun of grandma too much. Just like that's a habit. It's a habit we all seem to horribly share.
Anyways, but yeah, like I have a way. I don't know.
You have
It's
a list.
it's a project.
You have a list, a giant list that you gotta organize in various ways.
I'm my own personal DJ.
Yeah, so far you are. You just gotta, like, dude, this is a job for some people, I bet. Like, organizing lists of things like this.
You know what it is? It's because I'm frustrated with the algorithm of like
The YouTube autoplay.
well, not the autoplay, but the shuffling, the mixing of the songs. Like YouTube plays my most popular ones, like the ones I listen to the most individually, like
Right
like-
after another, right?
Yeah, and then
And it's like, but you want them to come in surprises, bursts,
yes,
because then it makes it more fun.
yes.
Or them more enjoyable because you're like, oh, I totally know this one.
But like whenever on my earworm playlist, it usually just when I push the shuffle, it goes through the Daddy Fat Snaps songs the most, and I'm like, I know that's like the top of the list, but can you play some of the Z and X's and Y's that I have down at the bottom?
Yeah, I was gonna say, when I let the YouTube autoplay, it seems to like circle. It eventually circles,
Yes.
and I'm like,
Didn't I just listen to this?
yeah, like I'll have like the same song like play,
It's like the
like
radio.
after two other songs. Yeah, very similar to the radio. I like when I do a playlist though, and I do the shuffle. It mixes it pretty well. I think because my list is a lot smaller.
Yeah.
I have like a max of like what seems to be 22 songs in one list, and you have
I have 200.
200. You have
I have nearly 300.
100 times. No, wait, you have 10 times. Sorry. You have 100 times 2,000 songs in one playlist. My math people. Don't get mad at me. Do the math and find out how wrong I was.
Let's read is doing a fucking.
What's the probability of me saying that problem wrong again?
I have 284 songs.
Nearly 300? Damn, I was even more wrong than before. What the fuck, dude?
Well, I found more artists and and more songs.
If my playlist had 10 songs on it, you'd have 30 times my songs. Does everyone like my little pause I had to do for my math? That's so stupid. That's so dumb. I got a little loud there. I'm sorry, people. I didn't mean to get loud. Damn. I'm getting hungry, dude.
I know.
What time is it? It's almost 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Dude, is the lobby to Carl's Jr. still open? Because I'm willing to go there.
Let's go over there and find out.
Yeah. All right. Sounds like we got a lot of our thoughts out this time. Next time, we need to organize our thoughts a little better about this.
Yeah, I know.
And we need to not immediately start talking when we come in.
Yeah.
Because we're
Yeah,
not
that's-
recording. You know what? Next time, we gotta, for ourselves, when we schedule the day or know the day we're going to record, I gotta set it up where we walk into the room, I push record, and we're going. Like, and I was doing that for break, but I gave myself a little less time than I meant to, and I came out here scaring Sarah. That's another thing. I scared Sarah because she was an idiot and left the door just partially open up there, right? And I just was like, "Oh, that's not okay. I'll close it. Like, I'll definitely close it on my way out or whatever." And then I go in, and she is like there messing with shit at the washer, and she's like, and then she barely, like, I see her eyes barely look up, and then she jumps like real hard, and I'm like, "Yeah, hi." And then I even like, she was like, "Oh," like, and I said, the door wasn't closed all the way, and then she was like, "Oh," and I said, "Yep, that's your fault."
Yeah, we need to organize our
Thoughts a lot
more.
better.
For
Okay, how about this, real quick, because I keep bringing it up because I want to talk about it. I guess, Spider-Man, and Shrek, Spider-Man movies and Shrek movies. We watched the first and second of both of them.
Yes.
And they both have third and what seemingly is fourth movies.
Well, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man got rebooted. Whatever. It's fine.
He branches off into the rebooted.
Look, Shrek is about to be rebooted with a fifth movie, apparently.
I don't want it to be.
I know, I don't want it either. Look, dude, it's perfect.
Don't reboot.
Don't reboot Shrek, especially with the Illumination animation.
Okay.
No, I don't want it either.
Just think of the Lion King fans. Just think of how mad they got, and just think of how angry Shrek fans are going to be.
Yeah, so far there's going to be like a week-long video of someone analyzing. That's Adam's joke of his own review. Someone was like, "How long is the final video going to be?" And he answered with, "A week and 13 minutes long." Oh my god. It's great. Jacob and I've been dragging Jacob through the experience of the editing process when it came to The Lion King and Adam's rants.
Just on the music.
Most of it on the music, but I've shown you different videos, right?
Yeah.
And like every other time it's something about the music. It's fucking amazing.
Or something comparing it to Kimba the White Lion.
Oh my fucking god, yeah. He's already done with the Kimbo review.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. But the Lion King review, that's been like a year-long project so far. It's crazy.
Well,
I'm exaggerating a little bit because it's been like, I don't know, maybe 8 months.
okay, that movie came out in 1994.
Yeah. Yeah, Lion King.
And I'm just thinking about the animation right now and how
fucking
smooth it is.
Amazing. The music, oh, it gives me shivers, man. I fucking love it. You know what's one song that I guess really sticks with me is the fucking, like, Can You Feel the Love, which is a lot of people's like feely song, right?
Yeah.
But man, when I hear that, like the original, I'm just like, yes.
Yeah.
When I hear like renditions of it, I can tell it's a rendition, and I'm like, oh man, this is still good, but this is good, but this is still not as good as the original. Like they put so much work and effort. I Can't Wait to Be King. I performed with on stage with like at school or whatever for like dance.
Yeah.
So I really know the timing and beat of that song, but like it's still like I'd say that's a close second because and I think that's because I'm influenced, like my opinion of it is influenced because Jonathan Young did a cover of it and
Yeah.
it's really fucking good. Also, listening back to the original I Can't Wait to Be King, the sound is so smooth. Like there's nothing distorting it or anything like that. Like it's so perfect. And also, just listening to the song, the original, I could see all the imagery.
Yeah, that's what I could too.
Oh, fucking A, it's so good.
Everybody look left.
Everybody look right.
Running over Zazu.
Everybody see me. I'm in spotlight.
Fucking the giraffe heads.
Yeah, I know,
Fucking-
right? and they
fling him up in the air.
and then they catch him or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then it keeps towering up and up and up, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, holy shit.
And then, like, you can feel the finale when it's like, King.
And it's Sasuke getting sat on.
It's like, Simba? La. Anybody?
I like the part of Zazu, like, on the log, and he's just there, and it's floating down, and it
he's
slowly
like-
reveals a waterfall, or him on water, and then it's a waterfall. He gets off it, and the log tips over the edge. It's like,
Yeah.
oh my god. It's so fucking good.
Okay. I am not a huge fan of Circle of Life. I'll listen to it once. and-
Circle of Life is a little overbearing, I think.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Is like, I will not doubt the musical genius that is in that song and that performance, I should say, of that song, because there's always gonna potentially be a better performance out there of a song when a song is made. So I
Yeah,
should just say
the-
that performance in the film is, for the original film, is really fucking good. Who was that lady? Does anyone? Okay, I need to know about that clip that is the stage Lion King cast, of the stage, the Broadway play or whatever
Uh-huh.
of it. Like, they were on a plane and they just started singing, and I forget what they were singing, but I just have it in my mind where it was like a video of one of them, and like, it was just like I think it was Circle of Life, because like, I guess the guy, Svenja had any cinema. I don't know. Maybe that's how they say it. Like, I could be saying it wrong. That's how I've heard it all my life. So,
We've heard it in song.
yeah. Have you ever looked at the lyrics?
They're
They're very simple.
No, I have not.
It's a lion. There's a lion. It's a lion. I'm just kind of quoting what Adam said off of one of the videos or whatever. Because honestly, I hadn't looked it up yet myself, but yeah, that's pretty funny. Because it's very simple.
How did Disney think that they could make The Lion King any better by making it live action and dragging out the boring scenes?
I don't know, dude. Well, here it just took.
Are they trying to like
My brain
set
is
the,
breaking.
Are they trying to set the mood? Because you don't need to set the mood like for.
What mood
5
is there to set?
minutes.
It's The Lion King, an hour and a half film. Also, I would have. Okay, how many people would have loved it if it was actually a shot-for-shot remake, but with realistic textured lions?
Or if they did whatever they did with this, but it was with people.
But then it would just be Hamlet. Everyone would just point out, like, it's basically Hamlet.
I don't care.
You know what? It would have been interesting if they did human actors in a field, like, and just calling
was
each
that?
other lions.
Yeah, it's the lion tribe.
Yeah, lion tribe, and it's like,
And
I don't
then
know. There's a
there's
sense
the-
of cannibalism once you go into like the hippo tribe and the antelope.
Well, they don't have. They could be eating actual animals.
Or they could show it that each other sees each other as animals, and when Simba befriends Timon and Pumbaa, he then sees them as people. Like, it represents friendship, like when you see each other as human.
I guess they could like. I'm just.
You know,
There could have been a spin
that
on
way,
it.
that way there could be talking animals, right?
Yeah.
But then it turns into just regular people, right? Oh, that dude, that's so. I just thought of a weird abstract way to fucking do that.
Anyways,
Like,
But-
slowly the things come on. I don't know. Look, dude, like, features disappear.
but they could still do a shot for shot
Re-
movie
Yeah, like,
with real people.
you're right. They could. You're right.
because Simba is trying to be a young warrior, or be in his
That sounds like
protector. I don't know,
yeah. Okay,
he's
we're
just trying to
talking
be
remake. You know what? I'm fine with talking remakes and stuff. Okay, how about this? We were talking about Shrek. That Shrek is a screen adaptation, right, of a book. There's a book out there, which existed before the film, and it's very weird. But
but it's very different
it's very different.
from whatever.
Yeah, from whatever I could whatever sources I remember having, that I don't have right now off the top of my head.
Yeah, I
Organically
saw
thinking.
this. I saw this
Uh,
one illustration book of Shrek, and then he was eating a lightning bolt.
That that's can't you breathe fire in the book?
I don't know.
I thought he could. Anyways, I want to talk about books and screen adaptations or screen adaptions, of characters. Harry Potter has not had a great reputation, and it's getting a fucking TV show finally. But guess what? A lot of people, including myself, have advocated for this because they said it's a live action show, and a lot of people in the animation community, including me, I'm breaking here, Jake. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with my mouth, but okay. There was someone who tweeted out. I don't know if I'll be able to find it because I like a million things a day, but I liked and I think I retweeted someone quote tweeting the link to this shit, the art, the stuff talking about the live action Harry Potter series that's being looked into to be created. And
is it Harry Potter?
Yeah, Harry Potter. Now, okay,
there's
the person who I quote likes their quote tweet or whatever said, "Man, this would be great. You get to do all the effects, make the characters exactly how you want them to look, and we'll match out throughout the series, all that stuff.
And you get to flesh out characters.
And you can flesh out the characters. If you animate it, remote working will be
amazing.
Will be no trouble at all. Something like that. I remember them kind of doing it in a dissing way though. That's great. Now animate it or something like that. You got all these resources, the people, we got the imagery, the idea, and also the inspiration of the films, of the direction and what we need as plot points, Bum bum bum.
Key plot points.
Yeah. But now animate it. They basically were animate it. Just fucking animate it. And they're examples of good they had a thread going, and part of it was them saying, look at Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings had an animated film before the live action film, and that was fucking
amazing.
That was fucking amazing. Look at it today. It's crazy, weird imagery, but that's the point. Is it's a fantastical world, and it's rotoscoped, and you could do that, but you could also just do what other fantasy films have done, such as the fucking what's a good fantasy film? Oh, Hercules. I don't know. Hercules has been adapted, has had lots of adaptations in live action from his literature, but the animated one is what everyone fucking thinks of, because it got the everything on point. It on point. It delivered a message through its imagery that is remembered to this day, and the quality hasn't nothing of it is dated. Its quality, they're I don't know, animation from the 60s is as good as quality as it was back then, because there's nothing of its aspect ratio really hindering it or anything. That's one thing you could tell what era it's kind of from. If it's a TV show, there's the 4:3 aspect ratio, which used to limit people, right? And now everybody has these wide fucking screens and cameras to work with, and their creativity has gone down, I feel like. And they're just spectacle, effects. Like they're not using that space very well, I feel. There's a lot of like movies and shit that are like forcibly, I don't know,
Framed.
limitation causes creative solutions. So, but overall animate it. Like animate the goddamn show. Like use it to your fucking advantage. The magic can look proper.
The Dragon Prince is what I
Yes.
can imagine what the magic could look like in
Harry Potter. Or just do that style. That's actually a cheaper style, you know that, Jake? Because it's 2D textures on top of 3D models. So it's a little cheaper because you have the environments already like existing, and all you have to do is like put them in their places and animate the scenes out and like layer them out.
So
Sequence
there
them
we
up.
go.
Yeah.
Like,
I know, right? Which is also why the Dragon Prince was able to get like 3 seasons out like kind of quickly because they
looks amazing too.
I fucking know. The first season is a little jerky.
Or hell, like if
But
it
it's
could.
okay.
What's a really good 2D animation? I'm thinking.
Owl House.
Okay.
Owl House. I've been watching that, and it is amazing. And it is exactly how I imagined the aesthetic kind of being for a Harry
know
Potter
what?
series.
If Harry Potter is not like Wizards of Waverly Place aesthetically, I don't want it.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, if if it's like obvious sets, but like you know what? Wizard of Waverly Place got away with a lot of things that felt cheap, like the Mars episode where they went like Max went to Mars and then brought back the rover, and it felt really like cheesy. But it's like
They can get away with that.
they can get away with it because the reaction and the characters and the acting was so good. It's like everything else distracted me from the fact that it's like such a cheap looking set, right?
Yeah.
But yes, that'd be amazing, Jake. Like if they could like have that kind of shit going on. Wizards of Waverly Place was kind of a spin off of Harry Potter, right?
Kind of did feel like that.
And yet it turned completely into its own thing. And I identify them as completely separate things.
Yeah.
I know one derived off of the other, right? And the popularity of it. But it definitely
like Wizards of Waverly Place is what I would expect Americans to be in
the Harry Potter universe, right?
of the 21st century.
Yeah.
Bluetooth wands.
I was about to bring that up. The Bluetooth.
You can make cell phone calls on it. Apparently, I do remember Justin talking on like it was a cell phone at one point.
I think that's hilarious. What's her name from Good Luck Charlie was...
The vampire.
Yeah, the vampire chick.
Yeah.
And what's his name?
Mason. His name was Mason in the fucking show.
Yeah. I don't
but
remember what else he's from. But he was the werewolf boyfriend
Yeah.
or whatever.
He's in other Disney shows.
I know.
shit.
He was in other shit. I
just
trying to
can't name him.
You know what's weird? As much as... Jake, does your brain do this to you where there's the Hannah Montana... Hannah
Terror.
Hannah Terror. Oh my god. My fucking... I'm so glad that's recorded because that's fucking gold. That's a gold mistake. That's a golden slip.
Okay, anyways, go on with the Hannah Terror.
No. Okay, do you map Disney Channel with eras of like different TV shows you watched at the time? So there's the Kim Possible era, right? Then there's the Hannah Montana era, and then there's the Wizard of Waverly Place era.
Yeah.
You know what's unfortunate?
And then there's the Good Luck Charlie era.
You know what's weird?
What?
A lot of those shows were starting to run around the same time, like around when, no, I don't mean Good Luck Charlie way back then. I mean,
With Wizards of Waverly
Hannah
Place,
Montana was going on at the same time as
Kim Possible.
Kim Possible, and and then Wizards of Waverly Place was going on sometime near the end or in the middle of Hannah Montana going on.
Okay,
And-
that's where Disney Channel got smart with their channel block. Okay.
and then Good Luck Charlie was like, and Wizards of Waverly Place were still going on at the same time too.
Because
So-
their characters were leaving that fucking show of Wizards of Waverly Wizards, and then
Yeah, they
entering
kept
Good
coming
Luck.
up like near the end, like it was great. But no, they were running at the same. Like that's the thing is what I'm trying to say is like
they were running
in,
at the same time,
in
but
my,
then
but
at-
they felt like they were on the coattails of each other.
yeah,
I've been using that phrase a lot. I think because I was watching something while falling asleep, and it said that a lot, and I was like, "Coattails." That's a great phrase. And I just thought to myself as I was falling asleep, "I'm gonna use that a lot," and I have been.
you know what? I actually like the way that you used it right there
Oh, the coattail, like they were coming up on the coattails.
of each other.
Yeah,
Yeah, or Good Luck Charlie
or
was
the tail ends
of
of each other.
Waverly Place.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's fucking. It was a great way to use it. But yeah, the those shows, quite a few of them, like were overlapping in their timelines of when they were airing on Disney. So it's very, very weird to think. But my brain separates them into different eras of my life watching Disney Channel, right? I don't think of them as running at the same time or the same era of place. But they were,
just
and that's
like
the
how
thing.
Cartoon
Like,
Network has its own era.
yeah, okay, there are different ways to measure the eras. There's the way to measure the presidency of Cartoon Network, and there's the way of looking at the bumpers, and then there's the way of looking at the shows that were running, and there's the way to look at it with the
Sean, this is where my mapping of my songs came from.
oh my god, it's so complicated. You mean the Cartoon Network shit, like where it's like there's 10 different ways
Yeah,
So-
where there's to map.
to map this shit out?
Yeah, with the presidency, the banners, the shows. And then there's Disney Channel where it's like I just have blocks of like.
Do you remember the nude things? The like weird little
Little-
guys that walked around and threw the blobs of like whatever at each other.
Yeah, I remember those.
Yeah, I liked those guys.
They
Whatever
were okay.
happened to them?
I don't know.
They were cool. I liked them because they were Funko Pop esque before Funko Pops were really a big deal.
Yeah, I think that's why they were really cool.
Yeah, because they were different, right?
Yeah,
And- exactly.
there was that, and then the Funko Pop.
Yeah,
Why did they get rid of them?
I think it's just a different era. Like they just changed it up.
Why change? I don't understand that. Like,
I don't understand either. I really don't like this what I'll call scrapbook era, where it's the blocks like and they're folding into each other, and they like form into a book like thing where it's the CN, like because they all fold in, or it's the cube. No. We were in the scrapbook era because it's also these patterns, like patterns that repeat, like polka dots. Like a polka dot pattern on one square, and then it's
I really
like,
do like this one
the
where it was
lightning
like just a
and-
fucking explosion,
Yes, I loved
and
that
then
too.
like it like some,
Came down and like dropped like
and then
yeah, it was
like
fucking good. Or I liked the one where it was Cartoon Network opened like a mouth and it showed all the shows.
Yeah.
But it also showed the letters, and then it like broke down and like folded into saying Cartoon Network. Oh, I love that. That's part of the checkered block era. They say there's so many eras to Cartoon Network.
what about
There's the
Nickelodeon?
roller coaster era, which was like it was a tangled mess of like all kinds of things, and it was a roller coaster of like the logo going down a roller coaster with like a really abstract background.
Is there a way to map Nickelodeon at all?
Yeah, by its logo. It does the different things with its characters, like the way it assembles it.
And like it has the splat.
Yeah.
There was the
Now here's the thing.
Nickelodeon had the slime era.
Nickelodeon, I feel like, has two eras to it with its logo. The splat, where it was a white text in orange splat thing, right, with
Yeah.
the Nickelodeon logo, and now it's just a clean, slick, like letters, and I
God,
hate it.
I
And
don't like
and the letters are orange. It's
Ah.
inverted, which is why it never looked good to me. I realized that when I looked at an old Rugrats VHS thing and I saw the old Nickelodeon logo,
It was like
that's when I was like, oh, Nickelodeon. And then it clicked in my brain why I recognized that as the Nickelodeon logo rather than these stupid, really slick.
why
like-
did they clean themselves up?
I don't know. Simplicity.
Why?
I don't know.
I
For
want
printing. I think for printing on things, I don't know.
I want them to be crazy.
Okay, I want them to be memorable, but
The-
making them so simplistic that like eventually some other company is gonna try and do the same exact simplicity, and I'm gonna get you guys confused. You know, like then it's like what brand am I rooting for? You know, like what am I voting with my wallet like with? You know, which brand I'm gonna get you confused.
I have very few Nickelodeon favorite shows of mine.
Well, there's SpongeBob season 1 through 6. Honestly, I like up to 6. 4 is definitely where it ended good. Like, I would definitely say that's where the movie era, I would call it. 1 through 4, because the movie was supposed to end it.
That movie felt like an ending.
Oh my god, I should buy that movie. I'm gonna buy that movie. I bought Short Circuit 1 and 2. That was
Why not?
literally only like $25 I spent today.
Nice.
Yeah, I know, right? Like so good. I'm about to spend more more on food right now. Going to Carl's.
Oh shit, we
Then
should go.
Oh yeah, fuck. It's already 8:22.
Hey,
You know what, Sarah? You're a good conclusion to this podcast session because we were just talking about getting up and getting food. I don't know how that relates to what you're doing, but it does.
I was about to.
We're
send
about
it
to go
over,
get Carl's. What do you want from
And
them?
I was about.
To pull
I-
them up. No, seriously, we were.
No, I figured as much.
She's just giving me shit.
We have evidence of us talking for 2 hours about it.
Like, I should get that soon.
yeah, about an hour ago you said that.
Yeah, I know.
Oh shit, we're idiots. We talked about how this happens.
Ah. Okay.
Okay, this is legit the end, and people watching this in the future will know because, it's near the end. I don't know.
Yes. Or we'll edit it.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. This thing's long. I don't know if I'll edit this one. This one's real long. Also, we don't talk much dirty or curse all that much in this one. I don't really have to edit this one.
Okay.
There's nothing that... I feel like we got to do an argument about one thing, but I'm not even going to take that out. Because we got through the understanding.
Yeah. All right. Let's end it now.
You're right. I need to stop it. Okay, any final thoughts?
No.
Scooby-Doo is a long franchise. We should talk about that for another hour. No, but seriously, I'm gonna buy.
I do.
Well, okay.
I
no,
do want to talk about Scooby Doo.
no promises, but I want to list topics for next time.
I do want to talk about Scooby Doo. Because
we don't have much time. I know what you mean. I know. But no promises, because last time we tried promising something, we fucked it up. And
I'm not
stuff.
saying next time, but we will talk about Scooby Doo
soon,
soon,
eventually.
eventually.
We probably have already a bit somewhere,
But I
but
want
we'll
to
talk about it more. Yeah.
Yes,
The latest movie fucking sucked.
I know.
Anyways, all right.
Because I want to talk about my timeline and theory of the.
Oh, the whole Scooby Doo thing.
of the monster, like them confirming monsters and aliens and shit
Oh,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, well,
Because I do want to look for the old movies where it was a person.
I want to look for Ghoul School.
Yes.
Ghoul School, the series. I want to look for it.
All right. Anyways,
Okay.
stop it.
Yes. All right, everybody. Till next time. We'll talk about books in some way too. We talked a little bit about books, mostly media.
We should talk about the Magic Tree House.
Yes, because we bought that and we were talking about the order in which, and we've discovered that shit. And I think we talked about it a little bit last time, but we'll talk about it next time.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
No, but that's a promise. Shit, we can't promise anything. No promises. Magic Tree House, fucking Scooby Doo, Short Circuit, all that shit. Shrek 1 and 2 are great movies, a lot shorter than I remember. Spider-Man 1 and 2, amazing movies. Third one is gonna be a wild ride. Okay,
Yes, it is.
it is a wild ride.
All right.
All right, till next time.